The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Wakeland Soccer Park in beautiful Cary, North Carolina. The host of TST and our program that starts right now.
CONCAFA!
SC is 2-0 at this TST. We have a team that is potentially going to win $1 million. We aren't the only squad that's hoping to win TST. There are an abundance of teams out here. I just got a jersey from the West Ham United team.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Go Hammers, they say. Dortmund was buying us beers last night. They charged Ty $60 yesterday for those same beers we had last night. Seamus is obviously here. Johnny Damon is here. And the game that is going to be played behind us today, Hope Solo's team is here. Solo FC will be taking on the Speedy Turtles as the women's TST kicks off today, as the men's have their last game of the first round today. Now, elimination games begin tomorrow, and our CONCAFA team has punched our ticket. Tonight, though, we play Wrexham. We're trying to get a number 1 seed so that we can take on a bum-ass number 3 seed from another group as we can continue to move on in this electrifying TST. If you've never been, I would recommend you come. If you're not a soccer fan, this is a style of soccer I think you would enjoy. And if you are a soccer fan, there are legends walking all over the place around here. Nani's here, obviously. How about Ledesma, who's on our team? Jeff Cameron, Breck Shea. You're talking about legends everywhere. Tony Miola is just strolling around. The soccer community is represented in a beautiful way, and CONCAFA is being very, very, very dominant. We got this guy right here. See ya. Boom.
Absolute weapon.
Absolute weapon.
Filthy.
He played for Cincinnati last year against us, and he was doing shit. Not that great of a team. That was Chad Johnson's team, do you remember? Not that great of a team, but he was a weapon. So we reached out and said, hey, bud, we'd love for you to join our squad. He's got along with everybody. There's Derek Huffman. He's an Arena League boy. There is just an entire squad. We're tighter than ever. Here's Ruggles. He is a problem.
Yeah.
Ruggles is a problem.
The porch run on the Stammer goal.
Back porch, Chad porch, absolutely incredible. He tried to give me a goal yesterday. I put it into the woods. 100% on me.
Not the worst, miss.
There's Porch right there winning the game. Foss with the pass to me. Pass to Richie Costanzo. Kid I grew up playing soccer with as a high schooler. Back to me. Over to Foss.
Good save.
Fossil.
Good save.
Great save, great save. As soon as I put that ball down the line right there, I think to myself, oh no, now I got to run, which I did. Back to Foss.
Shredding!
Mike Foss, Senior Vice President at ESPN, General Manager of this CONCAFA team. A man who's put the entire squad together. He and I had an opportunity to create some magic with Richie Costanzo. It was not to be had. I would then blast a ball over the net so far, just about 25 seconds later, and in about a minute and 15, I got to the point of exhaustion where I almost vomited out there and was a part of 3 or 4. Here's Porch, maybe the best player in the whole tournament. Dahn. Exit Stadium.
Great boot, though.
Place would have won bananas. It has been fun down here, but it's not just CONCAFA and TST that has been electrifying. The NHL Stanley Cup Finals started last night. With that being said, we have Wayne Gretzky joining us in about 12 minutes or so on FaceTime. He is not in North Carolina. He was in Edmonton last night. The greatest hockey player of all time, the great one, joins us. Last night, after the second period and the second intermission, he actually called exactly what Connor McDavid needed to do. He said this Florida Panthers defense is playing a Rick Tocchet style. Connor needs to get the puck on his stick. He needs to go behind the net. Then he needs to find somebody. Third period,
Yep.
same exact thing happens. Then they go to overtime. McJesus does his thing. Draisaitl knocks home a winner, and the Oilers are up 1-0. We will go through all these highlights. We will chit-chat about this game. And whenever you talk about the Stanley Cup Finals, you think of electricity. Last night, Game 1 lived up to the hope. Almost had a double overtime Stanley Cup Final Game 1 in a rematch between two teams that are clearly the best in the NHL. We'll see what Wayne Gretzky has to say. And then tonight, the NBA Finals start in Oklahoma City with the Thunder being a 9.5-point favorite over the great, gritty, tough Indiana Pacer team. Now, this graphic is filthy. D-Bone was in his bag, I believe, is what people would say. Whenever you talk about not utilizing the luxury cap, it's like the first time two teams in the final since 2004 haven't spent over what the salary cap is, haven't bought their team.
Yeah.
These are two teams that have been built in similar fashion. Second time in NBA Finals history that both teams had 25 or fewer wins 3 years ago. These teams have built from the bottom, come all the way up to the top. They play together, and it should be electrifying, just like the NHL Finals. We're lucky to be talking about all of that. We'll have Johnny Damon on the show today. Obviously, his team, Drip FC, had a big win yesterday and last night. He texted me and told me the fans have got on his side. Ooh. He said they're booing the refs, cheering for his team. I can't wait to chit-chat with baseball legend Johnny Damon, especially with the MLB viewership up as much as it is. We'll also be joined by Chris Paul. Chris Paul, obviously local dog from down here in North Carolina, Wake Forest legend, which is right down the street, partial owner of TST. We'll ask him about the NBA Finals. And then we have Clint Dempsey, one of the greatest soccer players in the history of the United States, joining us in the second hour as well. He's launching a new podcast.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good tease.
Good tease.
One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tone is here. Tone, as you look at last night, did we expect an overtime game? Did we expect that many goals? And when we're looking ahead to this evening, what is the bet or pocketbooks need to be yearning for as Solo FC and the Speedy Turtles start right behind it?
Yeah, when you look at last night at the line, and then as far as the book is concerned, it was minus 120 for the Oilers, which is basically, if you don't know, betting is a coin flip for the game. So, as far as the game goes, going to overtime, not a huge surprise. I think the expectation for this series was to be a super close series as far as the goals were scored. 3-3 at the end of the OT. I believe the over-under was 6.5, so it was right on point there. So as far as the bookmakers go, it went exactly how they thought that was. And then as tonight, NBA Finals, 9.5 for the Thunder is an absolute huge spread as far as the NBA Finals is concerned. Thunder are minus 700 to win the series, but let's not forget, Pacers, they go into Cleveland, game 1 of this year, down 9.5. It was same for the series, minus 700 against the Cavs, and they won game 1. Obviously won game 2, won the series. So the Pacers are not, they're not ashamed to be a minus 9.5. They are not afraid to win down 9.5.
Now, they were born
Yeah.
being a 9.5-point underdog this year, especially with how they've been talked about or lack of conversation about them. I mean, anytime a poll comes out and says, hey, you're superstar, most overrated guy in the entire league.
Tough.
Anytime you're not put on national television, even when it's the playoffs, they had them on True TV.
Yep.
They played iRobot over the Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs this year. That was the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Cleveland Cavaliers had to feel disrespected. The Indiana Pacers are just sitting there going, what about us? What about us? What about them? They've become inevitable. Let me give you some stats here. This is from Hembo. Shout out to Hembo.
Shout out.
No team has ever shot 55% from 2 and 40% from 3 in a single postseason entering the finals. The Pacers are at 56% from 2, 40% from 3.
Okay.
That is an offensive juggernaut. Tyrese Halliburton has scored 11 points in 135 career half-court matchups with Lou Dort as his primary defender. That's not good.
No. Lose a player.
The torture chamber is what they call Lou Dort. And Q Rich, I believe, said he'll be fascinated to see who Dejanot puts Lou Dort on. Will you go on Pascal or will you go on Tyrese? Because basically whoever he decides to take out of the game, this is Revis Island. This is see you later. You're done for the series. In the last 40 years, Tyrese Halliburton is the only player to do both in a single postseason. 150 assists, 5 times more assists than turnovers. He has 156 assists, 31 turnovers.
Wow.
Jeez.
Nobody's ever done it. We'll talk to Chris Paul about that here in a matter of moments. Turnovers this postseason, the Thunder have 188. Their opponents have 288. That minus 100 margin is already 21 more than any team ever in the history of a postseason. So you're talking about a dominant defense in this Oklahoma City Thunder, but they also take over on the offensive side. It should be a great game. Speaking of great games, Solo FC and the Speedy Turtles are getting after it behind us. Beautiful setup here. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Ty, I see the Tyrese Halliburton shirt on.
Yep.
Is that a homage to what's going to come tonight, or just public support?
I think I don't know if Oklahoma City's going to choke, but you could say quite a bit of public support. You mentioned it. I mean, they did this with the Knicks and Pacers series. Everyone picking the Knicks. Hey, there's no way the Pacers can win. They did it with the Cavs series. And the Pacers just keep winning. And then, will and behold, we get to the finals, and it's the same thing. Hey, why are we even playing? You know, Oklahoma City is going to beat the hell out of these guys. They have no chance. All of their players need to play perfectly, have the game of their lives. So the Pacers are battle-tested. They're ready to go. They understand. They've been through, this song and dance the last several rounds. So, yeah, I'm very excited for tonight. Coming off an unbelievable Stanley Cup Finals game last night.
Sports.
Exactly. We're in it now, boys. And
TST happening.
exactly. We got Hope Solo in between the pipes behind us right now.
Sports are happening in a big way. Let's go to college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, father of 10, A.J. Hawk.
Hey, baby Hoggle.
Great to see you, A.J. As the people of North Carolina give you a resounding applause of approval, obviously. What have been your thoughts on what sports are doing right now? Tonight, do you think it's going to be a 9.5-point spread game? Last night, did you expect overtime? TST, did you expect it to be this electrifying? Where's A.J. Hawk's brain on sports right now?
I'm at TST, so first off, TST, the CONCAFA boys are playing well. I don't see how anyone scores on them. You guys are still have not given up a goal yet this game. The defense is off the charts. The goalies are standing on their heads. But hockey last night, are you kidding me? From the jump, we had goals and then we had answers. So me being somewhat of a casual hockey fan, I loved it. I was locked in all 3 quarters and overtime last night. 3 periods.
3 periods, yeah. 3 quarters. It was actually 4 quarters.
Yeah, it was.
It was
Yeah, it
4
was.
quarters.
Yeah.
Joining us now is a man who played 4 quarters of hockey a lot.
Yes.
A guy, 9-time MVP. I want to make sure I get these all right. 4-time Stanley Cup champion. A man who at the time of his retirement held 61 NHL records.
Jeez.
Now he's on TV, and he's not a hater. He's not jaded with the new group. Loves the sport, loves the players, loves the league. Ladies and gentlemen, the great one, Wayne Gretzky.
How's everyone doing?
Wayno, it is an honor to have you on the show. Now, the people of North Carolina.
I'm so happy to be on it today, and what a great sports day. You guys got it right.
Okay, Wayne, I'm happy to hear that. I just want to let you know, though, that we are very thankful that you made time out of your life to join us. We're massive hockey fans, and the fact that you're taking time out of your life to chit-chat with us, we are grateful. Let's get to last night's game. After the second period, you got on air, and we assume this has happened on plenty of occasions this year and last year when you're on television, but you say, hey, McDavid needs to get the puck on his stick, needs to go around the net, then he needs to find somebody. This Rick Tocchet defense has obviously been a little bit cagey. Then next period, he does that. Do you think that whenever you see McDavid play, you see a lot of yourself? Do you think whenever you watch McDavid play, do you think like, man, this guy has the capability to take it over? What are your thoughts with Connor McDavid being the guy that everybody talks about could be the next great one? Wayno?
Yeah, I think we're past could it be. There's no question he's the best player in hockey. He's an unselfish young man. He loves playing in Edmonton. He loves being the captain of the Oilers. He wants desperately to win a Stanley Cup. That's all he wants. That's what he cares about the most right now. And good on him. He's just been great for our game. He's been great for the city of Edmonton. And, what a year. He scored the winning goal at the Four Nations Cup in overtime. He sets up the goal last night by Draisaitl. And let me tell you, I know it's a little bit difficult to see on TV, but live, it was a physical hockey game. You had to be a man to play in that game last night. Both teams played hearts out. Tkachuk's playing a little bit injured. Reinhardt's playing a little bit injured, but they still put everything on the line. And listen, it's hard to knock off the Stanley Cup champions. It's one game. It's 4-7. I'm sure they're going to bounce back, but Edmonton has to keep home court advantage. That's a must for the Edmonton Oilers to win the Stanley Cup.
Obviously, you played 9 years, I think, 8 years for the Edmonton Oilers at the beginning. 10, sorry. Jeez.
I had 1 year in the WHA where I started in Indianapolis. And we were drawing 3,000 people a game, so they sold me.
Hey, we're thankful that you started your hockey career in Indianapolis, Indiana. We should put that on a statue. Probably a statue of you there. But Edmonton, all anybody talks about is how great the fans are, how great the barn is up there. But obviously, no Canadian franchise has won the Stanley Cup in forever. Is this the team to do it? And if so, why do you think that is the case?
Well, this is the team to do it. One, I don't think Florida's played a team that's as physical as Edmonton. The speed of Edmonton matches Carolina, but Edmonton's a little more physical. And when you get to 3 championship series in a row, you're physically beat up. And right now, I hope Florida can rebound, but they've put their guts on the line the last 3 years, and it's hard to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. And they play hard, and they're led by guys like Tkachuk and Barkov and Reinhart. I expect them to bounce back, but listen, Edmonton feels it. The city, that's all anybody talks about. I was beside the arena yesterday, and at 12 o'clock noon, a band started playing. I thought I was on Columbus Street in Manhattan for a Labor Day parade or something. It's crazy.
I love
but
that.
The people love it.
I love the shots outside the arenas.
Yeah.
Like that feels like that happens in hockey more than any other sport.
Yeah.
And it is the entire city shows up there. Let's talk about that Florida team before the boys have some questions for the great one. You mentioned all the leaders of that team, and obviously they make the trade for Marshy. And I know back in the day, there used to be goons on teams. Okay, there used to be goons. There's always been some, little protectors, but there's always been a little greasy things that have happened in hockey. Then goons come in there. How do you feel about the Florida Panthers culture being like, hey, we're going to hit you, there's going to be some shit, and you just know that that's happening? Do you think that is the right style to win? Obviously it is, but do you think that is sustainable, and do you think more teams are going to try to be like the Florida Panthers?
Absolutely. We're copycat leagues, right? Football, basketball, baseball, hockey. Yeah, absolutely. And I will tell you this. Last year, Florida was a little bit more physical in that series than Edmonton. Edmonton went out this year. They got a little bit bigger. They're more physical than they were last year. And they got the key ingredient. They got number 97. He can be the difference maker. But listen, in the old days, we had those protectors, right? Now the TV is the protection for the players. You used to be able to get guys behind the camera or behind the scenes and nobody would see it. Now there's so many camera angles. The league protects the players now, and that's how it's done.
I like it too, and I liked the fact that Bettman came out and was like, we just don't want the stage fighting. We're okay with fighting. We're not trying to get rid of what hockey is. Yeah. We just don't want the staged fighting. So I think the game's evolving, and obviously numbers are up. Last year, the NHL viewership was bigger than it's ever been. I assume it's only going to continue because the superstars are playing so well. AJ Hawk has a question for you, Wayno.
Yeah, Wayne, did you? We see all these analytics and different things that teams have to where they can give you these shot charts on how goalies can whatever I guess they do well, whatever they stop, whatever they can't. When you played, did you have a book on goalies? Did you have an idea going in on what this guy was going to do and how you were going to beat him?
Yeah, I think everyone has that sort of feeling and belief that the more you study and the more you prepare, the better off you're going to be. But let me tell you this, the game is so fast. You can't tell me that guy knew exactly where he's shooting the puck because I couldn't shoot it exactly where I wanted to because the game's so fast. And listen, I heard you guys talking at the beginning of the show. The game is better today. These players, these athletes, they're better athletes. They're bigger. The equipment's better. The ice that they play on is better. So our game is just getting better each and every year. And you look at guys like Barkov and McDavid and Draisaitl and Reinhart. These guys are tremendous athletes. They're superstars. I mean, they're great people. They sell the game. They worry about our sport. They want to excel. And listen, I live in Florida. What the Panthers have done, Vinny Viola, Bill Zito, their organization, Paul Maurice, what they've done for hockey in Florida has just been truly amazing. And on top of that, you look at Tampa Bay with John Cooper and his group winning Stanley Cups. Hockey is growing leaps and bounds in Florida, and that was our problem over the last 50 years. We were good in pockets, but now we're growing in Texas, California, Nevada, Florida, and our game is expanding, and kids are going to games saying, you know what, I want to try to play this game. It looks like it's fun, and we're getting better athletes every year that are participating and playing hockey.
Don't you think, too, the fact that you guys are still like an old school style league? Like we just talked about the fighting there. Yeah. Very rarely 2025, unless it's UFC, boxing, or Slapfest, is anybody like, yeah, you should go fight somebody. But in hockey, it's like a part of the sport. It's like a self-government sport. I appreciate that.
And I'll tell you one of the reasons why that's the case. We're the one sport that carries around a lethal weapon, a hockey stick. And the last thing you want to do is hit somebody with your stick. So the natural thing is to drop your stick and drop your gloves, right? And so if we didn't have fighting, there'd be a lot more stick work. And I'm glad listen, I always say to people when they say to me, is fighting real in hockey? I said, well, if it wasn't, I would have been in more fights. Trust me, it's real. and these guys are tough and they're hard-nosed. And listen, they just want to win championships. And you can't take silly penalties, though. You got to be smart when you do it. And consequently, if you're not, you're going to penalize your hockey team.
Hockey is such a humble culture, Very rarely do you hear any players speak out. Very rarely do you get to hear any interviews or personality. I think that's kind of growing now with the way you guys have been able to open folks up. You, Biz, the TNT crew. Obviously, Spittin' Chicklets is doing a great job. I think we're learning more about the players, but all the players are team-first guys, tough guys, and the sport is so hard. I think everybody has to respect the work ethic. I think hockey's only on the precipice of a massive, because I think there's a lot of football fans that be like, we like the way these guys operate. They just got to get exposed to the sport. You know what I mean, Wayne?
Yeah. When I first went to LA, I said, the more people that we can have come and see the sport and realize the art of our sport, it's physical, it's fast, you got to skate, you got to be unselfish, you got to play hard, you got to take a hit, give a hit. And the more people we can get to view our sport, the faster and bigger it's going to grow. And that's what the league has done. And so when I came in, I was so lucky. We had Brett Hull in St. Louis and Yzerman in Detroit, Mario Lemieux in Pittsburgh, Mark Messier in New York. Not only were they elite players and Hall of Famers, they knew what it took to sell the sport. They were great with the media. They were great with charities, great with kids, and they were unreal hockey players. So we've been lucky. We've been blessed that the people in our sport, from Gordie Howe and Bobby Orr and Bobby Clark all the way down to now, Crosby and Ovechkin, just two of the classiest sports athletes there are in the history of any sport. And so we're lucky we got good culture in our game.
Yeah, let's talk about that culture a little bit more. And you just mentioned all the heroes of the past and obviously the future and who's going to carry it. You've never sounded jaded ever about the next generation. You've never been a goat in everybody's eyes that has kind of weaponized that against the younger generation. Why is that? Is that just how hockey is? Like you showing up for Ovechkin. I think you said something about your dad told you, hey, when somebody breaks your record, you should be the first person at this. You went to 2 games. You've never said anything bad about anybody. Sidney Crosby comes in. They're saying, hey, this could be the next Wayne Gretzky. You never took that as a shot, seemingly always supported it. Now with Connor McDavid, the same thing. Why is that? And why do you think it's so hard for some goats to kind of have a similar mindset?
I don't know. I can't speak for other guys, but I'm really being honest. I think our athletes today are better in every sport. There's no question. Now, do I think Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player ever lived? That's my opinion. I'm not a basketball guru, but that's just my opinion, right? Then you take Tiger Woods, probably the best athlete we've ever seen in golf. So it's progression, right? And listen, these guys today, knowledge is such a great thing. Remember those old commercials about I lost my knowledge? And we have so much more knowledge today, just from physical fitness, nutrition, practice, coaching, the equipment they wear today, the skates that they wear today. When we wore skates, they were leather. And if they got wet, they were 5 to 10 pounds heavier. It's not the same game. It's a better game today. Simple as that. And so I'm happy for them. Everything I have in my life is because of the NHL and hockey. Why would I sit down and want to be critical of the game that made my life? I got to travel the world, meet some great people. It's the greatest sport in the world to me, and I love it.
You're the greatest.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You are the greatest. You guys had actual cement in your boots. Whenever those leather. Yeah, you had actual.
No. We would play on a Sunday night in Chicago. 6 a.m. We'd be at the airport for a flight to Detroit. Play that night in Detroit, but our equipment would still be wet because the trainers couldn't really hang it. So you put your skates on at 7 o'clock at night, and they're about 10 pounds heavier. That's the way it was, though.
Hey, you guys also, and I don't know you, I don't think I've heard any stories about you, but if I know the hockey culture well, in between that Chicago and Detroit game, we also have to hammer some vodkas and some beers as well for team chemistry. Feels like that is a big thing in hockey. You guys are very much a hangout together group.
Yeah, we're always together. I mean, especially when you're playing, it's 20 guys and you go to dinner together. The teams that do that are more successful. The teams that 4 guys go one place and 3 guys go another place, they're not a team. You look at the Edmonton guys, they're always together. You look at the Florida group, they're together. Tampa Bay, those teams are year after year are successful. There's no secret to why it is. They'll go through a wall for each other, and you got to have that in our sport.
Yeah, I agree. I think teams come together better around a keg than they do kale. But who knows if the next generation will continue that on. Got to have team chemistry. It's the biggest deal.
Absolutely.
Boston Bruins fan who has quit on them, I want to let you know that. Connor has a question for you.
That's not true. Congratulations to Marco Stern, new head coach for the Boston Bruins. And
He's going to do a great job.
He's going to do a great job. Yeah. Wayne already mentioned Bobby Orr as one of the building blocks of the NHL, so he gets it. Wayne, there's a clip, and you talked about, kind of the growth of the game. And obviously they did the 24/7 series on HBO before. They followed a bunch of guys last year with Amazon, I believe. I think if kind of the more layman fan were to be able to see hockey players like yourself go up against other superstars, it might help. We have a clip of you just dusting, I believe, Sugar Ray Leonard, Pele might have been out there in a track meet. And I think most people aren't really sure that hockey players are athletes. And then they see something like this and say,
Good, get off there, Wayne.
Holy shit, Wayne Gretzky might beat Usain Bolt in 100-meter. Do you think, how did this, first of all, happen? And do you think most hockey players are fantastic athletes, but people don't really think about that, and they just think about, them playing hockey and everything? Sidney Crosby threw a football for $1 million at Big Night back in April for Pat, and I feel like most people were blown away that a hockey player could even get their hands around a football.
Well, let me say this first of all. It was a charity event for Bjorn Borg in 1982, and he asked me to go. And, of course, I was a huge Bjorn Borg fan. And I said, well, of course. Now, there were 6 events. The other 5, I came last, let me tell you. And I remember I said to my dad, he was there with me, I said, I got to do well in the running because I grew up a runner. I said, I got to at least show that I'm somewhat of an athlete. So I said, okay. And then I looked down and I saw Sugar Ray Leonard and Pele, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm in the wrong event here. And I think I jumped before even that gun went off. I was going no matter what. But it was a wonderful event. But let me tell you, most hockey players, North American, I can't speak for the Europeans or the Russians, but in North America, a lot of our kids, they grow up playing box lacrosse, soccer, baseball, and then they make hockey their priority at the age of 14, 15, 16. So there is a lot of great athletes who play in the National Hockey League, trust me. A lot of them. I see guys that go to batting practice and guys are hitting home runs, whether it's in Detroit or Anaheim. It's pretty remarkable. And, of course, we got so many guys that are good golfers.
Yes.
Every time I play golf, and my son-in-law is one of the greatest players ever in 2 major winner, and people go, what's wrong with you? How come you're not a good golfer?
Do you suck at golf, Wayne? No way.
Oh, I'm not very good. So I would tell you this.
Compared to Dustin? Hold on, though. Compared to Dustin or like compared to you?
Compared to you, I'm bad.
No, I'm ass, Wayne. I am a bad golfer, brother.
So I always tell people, they go, what hand did you shoot in hockey? I said, left-handed, and play golf right-handed. How come you play right-handed? I said, well, at 16, I went to buy a set of golf clubs. My dad said, you should learn how to golf. The hockey players have charity events, and you don't want to embarrass yourself. So I went to buy a set of clubs, and the guy said, we only sell right-handed clubs. They didn't sell left-handed clubs in those days in Canada.
Oh, my God.
Thankfully, yeah. So somebody said, well, why don't you switch? And I said, well, I got all these free clubs. I'm not switching over to left-handed. I'm staying the way I am. So, no, but it all changed when Phil Mickelson came along and Mike Weir. I don't know if you saw this, but Mike Weir, when he won the Masters, he had a handwritten letter from Jack Nicklaus that he wrote to Jack Nicklaus and said, I'm a left-handed kid. I play left-handed. Should I stay left-handed or switch to right? And Jack Nicklaus wrote him back, handwritten, young man, you stay left-handed if that's what you're comfortable with. And he became the first Canadian to win a major, which was remarkable.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You still golf righty?
Yeah, I'm still bad.
Wayne, I think I know the problem. I think you're supposed to be looking this way. I think you're supposed to be looking this way, brother. Not even a putt, not even putting. Feels like that is.
I tried putting left-handed for 2 years because Mike said to me, Wayne, try putting left-handed. Well, I got worse every day, so I said, I'm going back right-handed.
Golf is so hard, dude.
Oh, my God. You got to practice. Like any other sport, you got to practice. I don't practice. How do you expect to be good? Sure. People go, are you competitive in golf? Michael Jordan's so competitive. I said, competitive? I know I'm no good, so why worry about it? If I hit a bad shot, I hit a bad shot.
Yeah, and then I'll pick it up.
I'm going golfing with Darren Pang today here in Edmonton, so it'll be fun.
Okay, you're going to go, I think you're going to go scratch today, Wayne.
Yeah, real low.
Yeah, I think you're going to go real low.
Panger's about 5'6" and 125 pounds, and he shoots 72 every day.
He's doing a lot of golfing, though. Just like we don't get to practice enough, Wayne. We're working.
There you
Yeah,
go.
we don't have time just to be on the golf. You should play lefty today, I think.
1,000%.
I'm going to try a few shots left-handed today.
If we get that on camera, we'd appreciate it, because everything I know about sports.
I'll get Biz to tape it and send it to you guys.
Perfect. Perfect. It feels like you should be a left. Wayne, I don't want to say anything disparaging about you.
I'm glad. This is my problem. I'm reaching out to you for golf tips.
Bingo. If I was Wayne Gretzky, though,
Go lefty.
I'm fucking doing. Aren't you doing this? Isn't this like your thing? This is literally.
I played Pebble for 5 years with Jake Owen, myself, Jordan Spieth, and Dustin. I had the greatest group. Jordan and Dustin and Jake were so wonderful to me. But they draw the biggest crowd, those two guys. There's 25,000 people on every hole. And I'm shaking like a leaf, and they go, you didn't get nervous playing hockey? I said, I could play hockey in front of 1 million people. I wouldn't even know they were there. But to play golf, you know how it is when you go to the first tee and everybody's in the clubhouse watching you?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I don't want to hit a bad shot. Well, try to have 25,000 people down the fairways and you're hitting the ball.
You're Wayne-o! I'm telling you, Wayne, you go lefty.
I think I have a record for the most people hit in playing in Pro-Am tournaments. I played with President Ford one time in 1980. I was a kid, Palm Desert, and I was so nervous standing on the tee, right? First shot I hit, I sliced it into these trees, and all of a sudden we heard a thud, and I go, what's that? And the president said, that's one of my Secret Service guys. Usually I hit them.
That is amazing. I love to hear that you love the game of golf and suck at it, because I do too. So if Wayne Gretzky sticks at it, that makes me feel a lot better about myself.
Well, my wife Janet is a great athlete. She's a better golfer than I am, and she's more committed to it than I am.
Lefty,
we play a lot, and she loves it, and trust me, she's a better. If you're playing partners, you would take her, not me. Trust me.
We're gonna have some beers with Wayne Gretzky. We're not trying to win. I stink at golf. You got to remember that. You just talked about how people say, "Hey, are you competitive at golf?" Michael Jordan's competitive at golf. You rattled off a couple others earlier. Tiger Woods. I assume we could put Phelps into that conversation in the sports world. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I don't know who you put it. Do you guys have a group text? Because you guys are like rare air.
No, but Michael and I played in this charity event for TNT last year, and we were both so nervous on the first hole. You'd think we'd never been in any kind of a sporting event ever before. We were so nervous.
So what do you guys, like, why do you think, have you ever done any, this could be a deep question, Wayne, coming straight off of you sucking at golf convo. Have you looked back and wondered why you were so much better than everybody else? Because I
wasn't better than everyone else, but I'll tell you what I did. My preparation, and I had respect for every player I played with, and I had respect for every player I played against. And I have nothing but good thoughts. You know, the guys I played with, guys like Mark Messier and Paul Coffey and Luc Robitaille, Brett Hull, incredible people. And then I played against guys like Brian Trottier and Dennis Potvin, who played physically hard, and they were hard to play against. But when it's all said and done, we're all here for the same reason. We love the game, and that's what it's all about, right? And you're here to try to win championships, and practice is everything. And if I tell parents, I get people come up to me and they'll say, will you tell my son how many hours a day you used to practice at 9 and 10, 11? And I would say, listen, I didn't practice. That's what I loved doing. I'd skate for 8 hours because I loved it. Bobby Orr, same thing. Gordie Howe, same thing. We didn't think we were practicing. If you think that at the age of 10, you're going to have a long, miserable run of it, right? So I always say, listen, just go enjoy the sport. And the more you enjoy it, the more you want to get better. and the more you're going to want to love it. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, because if you're considering it practice, it's almost like it's work. And if you're viewing it as work already as a child, as opposed to just something you want to spend your time doing, you're probably not going to sign up for it for the long haul that you're going to need.
Yeah, Mark Messier had one of the great quotes years ago. Somebody asked him, is there anything about hockey that you don't like? And he thought about it for a second. He goes, there's not one thing I don't like about it. I love being with the guys. I love being on the bus with the guys. I loved hanging out with the guys. I loved going to hard practices. I loved going to great practices. I loved it when we had a tough loss and we were all together. There wasn't one thing that we didn't love about it, right? And that's makes it special.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
What it's about.
That is what it's about. That's what it's
And
about.
my wife always says I say sorry wrong, so.
Ty has a question for you. Great one.
Yeah, Wayne, speaking of, golf and everything like that, there's been a lot of discussion lately, mostly from, Biz. He kind of started it about how a lot of these teams who are in states with no state income tax are going to have a massive advantage moving forward because not only are a lot of them warm weather and guys can go there and play golf and kind of enjoy themselves, but you're obviously not forfeiting a bunch of that money like, some of the places in Canada or California or New York or wherever the case may be. Do you think a lot of those teams that are in those situations are going to be inherently better or have an advantage moving forward over the next couple of years?
Well, let me say two things. Obviously, Florida and Tampa Bay is a unique situation. Dallas, Vegas. From a financial point of view, if that's what a player's thinking about, obviously. But if a player's thinking, you know what, I want to play in a hockey culture, like playing and living in the city of Edmonton, I loved it. For 10 years I was here. And the culture and the mindset of the people. So it's a different feeling when you leave the arena in Florida after a game or leave the arena in Tampa Bay. But you leave the arena in Edmonton, you've been in a hockey game and there's 1.5 million people who live here. And 1.3 million have watched that game, and the other 200,000, the only reason they didn't is because they were working. So, it's what you want to do as a player, how you want to approach this. Look, do I want to go to where everything is hockey, or do I want to go to a place where financially it might be a little bit better for me? Now, the good news is Tampa Bay and Florida are great organizations, and they have a chance to win every year. So that's a business decision that a player has to make.
Wayno, is Florida going to be the state of hockey forever?
Oh, absolutely. It's growing leaps and bounds. I'm so proud of the people who've done such a great job, the Tampa Bay organization, Florida. More and more kids are playing. I see it. I live there, so I see it. And it's just going to grow leaps and bounds. I think it's going to get bigger every single year. And the thing is now we're attracting great American athletes into our sport, where the guys who used to say, I'm a baseball player or a football player, a lot of those great athletes at 10, 11, 12 now are going, I really enjoy playing hockey. This is great.
Yeah, and I'm going to be a lefty on the ice, and then I'm going to golf righty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might not play the clubs now.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thank you so much for the time, and thank you for
Hey,
giving.
love your show, and thank you guys so much, and keep going. And love the fact you guys promote hockey. Like I said, everything I have in my life is because of hockey. So congratulations to you all, and have a great day.
Well, thank you so much for that, for being kind, being a professional, being the great one. But also thank you for doing television as the GOAT. I think there's a chance that because you did that, now Michael Jordan's getting into TV. It's
Yeah,
good.
I see that.
It's good to hear.
Well,
It's good to hear from the GOATs. Legit.
I don't know if you saw it last night, but the guys were calling me GOAT, and right now we're calling Biz Gout because he's got gout.
You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne.
Too much red meat.
Hey, that's Wayne Gretzky.
That's what it's about.
That is what it's about.
It's all about.
And I'm sorry to everybody else that does the hockey. If one panel has Wayne Gretzky on it, they're probably going to have a little bit of a head start.
Yeah.
That's just like when Nick Saban was at the College Game Day. It's like, sorry to anybody else doing anything else. It's like Nick Saban's words are going to matter. And if you're good at it, and if you're like humble and you enjoy the process of doing television and talk about your sport, you can give back to your sport in such a big way, which I think is what Wayne has done over the last 2 years being on TV. Having Wayne Gretzky promote the game is great for the game. Some of these GOATs stay away for whatever reason. They're jaded, and I talked to them about hating the younger generation or not liking the current game, or maybe people are getting compared to them, so they get a little self-conscious on what they're about. It's like he doesn't seem to care at all, and everybody has the same opinion about him. It's good for hockey. He's doing TV.
It's unbelievable hockey. You couldn't have a better ambassador for the game. I mean, the great one, the greatest of all time. And the fact that he says the game is better now than it was when I played, and the athletes are better. Like, yeah, what a. Hopefully, Michael Jordan becomes the Wayne Gretzky of basketball broadcasting. And everything. We're all of a sudden here, and he gives us that perspective.
I believe Solo FC is up 2-0 behind us. Hope Solo played the first half in goal. She pitched a shutout. Her team can run.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching.
Yeah.
Her team can move. Yeah, Solo FC is a good squad. Austin Rise is here. I think they have a lot of really good players. The U.S. women's national team has a team. They have Carly Lloyd on their team.
They won last year.
Okay, they are very good. So I think there's a lot of good quality soccer coming out of here at Cary. There are some teams that are ass.
Yeah,
No doubt.
certainly.
Some teams that are ass. But
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
going to happen.
Played 2 of them so far.
Whoa. We made them look that way.
That's
way.
what I mean.
Joining us now is a man who put a team together that is not ass. No. They are great, just like this man was. I want to rattle off all of his 2-time World Series champion. First on this particular sheet says Boston Red Sox legend.
Well, of
It's
course.
true.
But there are also people who say he is a
New York Yankees legend.
Oh, yeah.
and also
A
a
Kansas City Royals legend.
and also
An
a
Oakland A's legend.
and also a
Detroit Tigers legend.
and also a
Savannah
life legend.
Bananas.
Well, that too.
Legend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Damon.
How you guys?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic to be here.
Yeah.
How you doing, Johnny?
Fantastic.
What's up,
Great
man?
seeing you, my man.
too,
Brother,
Oh, brother.
thank you for making this happen.
Oh, thank you for
I got the
Sox
headset here.
legend. You know that.
Yeah, well, he is. Yankees legend.
Oh, Drip FC. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate you, dude.
Not you.
Thank you, man. All right, Johnny.
Won a World Series with the Yankees.
I
as
know.
well.
Hey, so they're you gotta put the mic down. It's on the left side.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't do this much.
Here, let me put this behind you. Look at this rim. Make
Okay.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
The professional.
All right, you are a pro.
No, I'm not. Not like you. Did you hear the little bickering that happened here? Because Boston Connor, obviously big Red Sox fan, calls you a Boston legend.
Yeah.
Ty over there, massive New York Yankees fan, says New York Yankees legend, just won a World Series with the New York Yankees. When you look back at your career, the fact that you're beloved on both sides of the biggest rivalry in the sport, what do you think that means or says about the sport and you as a player?
Well, the great thing is I've been loved and hated everywhere. So I went about my business the right way, played the game, hustled. That's the only thing you can really control in baseball is hustle. Like your best win can turn into a out. Your bad swing can turn into a bases clearing double. So it's you have to take the ups with the downs, and I always did. I was always a fan favorite because I learned from Cal Ripken. He signed an autograph for me when I was 10 years old at Tinker Field. So I understood the fan aspect of it. So I continue it to this day. A bunch of these people love me out here.
Hell yeah.
I'm part of Drip FC.
Hell yeah.
And my team is showing up. They're balling out. And we had a great game last night. You know, unfortunately, things didn't go our way.
Oh, you lost?
Oh, no.
All right.
Why'd you do air quotes?
No, we didn't lose. We won. We won. Our team balled out. Check out the replay.
What are you guys now? 1-1. We
Yeah.
have the replay, actually. We have the replay here. This is my first time seeing it. Drip FC. That's
Yep.
the replay from the first game.
Yeah, that
And
was
they tore this down yesterday.
Yeah, we appreciated them coming over here. Last night, we do not have the replay of last night. What happened? You guys got screwed?
I want you to check it out, please.
You sent me a text
We'll
that
find
said,
it. We'll find
you
it.
sent me a positive text, so I thought you
Yeah.
guys won.
Oh no, we won personally. Our team, we're a great team, and we're still in it. We're going to keep on
Okay.
rocking. We're going to keep on bringing our A game.
Little
So,
controversy maybe with the Drip FC game last night.
take a look.
Okay, we certainly will. I saw the clip you sent me of you playing some soccer, scoring a goal. Are you coaching the team, general manager of the team, owner of the team? What is the title you have?
I sponsor the team with my drinkagame.com. We are a healthy alternative to what's out there. No artificial anything. No forever chemicals. Yeah, so we are good. We're
Hydration
getting ready to
drink?
rock it. Yeah, we got Gary Brecka. We got Tyler Adams. Bo Jackson's been with the team for
AJ
a while.
loves Brecka.
So, yeah, we're ready to rock and roll.
Okay, you just brought up Bo Jackson.
Yes,
How
sir.
closely do you pay attention to current baseball?
I started to pay more attention because I have 8 kids. Was that
8 kids?
8 kids. I have 4 kids. Yeah,
4
not
kids.
8.
Okay, I heard 10 earlier.
He does have 10 kids. They're all over the place. You have 8 kids?
Yeah, man. Irresistible, and I just happily oblige, man.
Obviously.
Okay, so you've been paying attention more. The MLB viewership is up 10% on both networks, Fox and ESPN. Feels like it's because the superstars are playing well. Yes. Is that what you agree with? Like, baseball's good when its superstars like you are playing well, and the teams that everybody wants to see are playing well. Do you think that's why they're having success?
Absolutely. There is so much talent out there, and everyone asks me who I root for, and I root for the back of the jersey. Like, I'm always going to root for Aaron Judge. I love the way Durant plays for the Red Sox. It reminds me of young Johnny Damon.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah. No kids.
There's so much talent out there, and Shohei, wow.
Fun, right?
Amazing. Yeah, it's fun to watch.
As an ex-baseball player, what he's doing, can you, especially if he gets in and pitches this year, which I guess there is a chance, when he was starting his career with the Angels and he was pitching and hitting, we were talking about him as people that don't know baseball that well, as like, holy shit, we got an alien here. Why is it so abnormal, and what are your thoughts on Shohei?
Well, because you do have to concentrate on something, and Shohei hasn't pitched in a while. I think he could be very successful, but stepping back to the mound after taking a year and a half off, it's tough. I think he can do it, but for how long? I mean, Babe Ruth was the epitome of greatness. And in our day, we had the Brooks Keichnick with the Cubs who could do it, but they just didn't want to take away the best part of a player's game. It's kind of like Travis Hunter right now. What's he going to do? Shohei is the greatest hitter going right now with Aaron Judge, and why take that away from him? There's a lot of stress that goes on to being a pitcher. You give up a couple runs, and now you have to go hit. I think it's very tough. We did it in Little League. He's doing it in the big leagues.
Okay, so I appreciate you saying that. Ty Schmidt's our baseball aficionado. He's been basically saying the same thing, although it would be sweet to see Shohei do both. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you about the Savannah Bananas experience that you had.
Yes.
Because, I won't say that I dislike it because I don't, but as someone who's like a diehard baseball fan, like I would much rather watch the Yankees, than obviously, what they do with the kids and everything, and then 80,000 to 100,000 people going to the stadium to do it. But how cool was that experience as a whole, and are you surprised that they've had the kind of success that they, because I mean it is crazy. They're selling out football stadiums, and those guys can still play. It's not just like a Mickey Mouse, hey, show up at the ballpark and these guys are going to kick it around, Harlem Globetrotters type thing. So what did you think of the whole experience?
I thought it was so amazing that I decided to go out 3 times, and I didn't go out last year. My last at bat, I got a base hit. We won the inning. We celebrated. The guys got me on the dugout. We took our shirts off, and I forgot to shave my chest. And but yeah, I kind of forget you can't step out of the but it was so fun. I'm so happy what they're doing because they can probably sell out the Oakland Coliseum, more so than the A's did. So it's I love it. It's fun. It gets the kids into baseball, and when you see the game is fun. I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. made with his smile. He made he was the kid, and everybody loved it. I played the game. I loved it. I understood the ups and downs, and as I always mention, you got to bring it every single day. You got to bring your A game, and your best may not get it done sometimes. So you have to keep plugging away. The pitcher, he's trying to make a living too. So he's trying to take it from you, and you're trying to get
How
it
many
from him.
games do you guys play in a season?
It's 162, but if you count spring training and the playoffs all the way to the World Series, it's about 210 games in about 235 days.
Rock stars.
Yeah.
Just living on the road.
Yep.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you stay focused. I don't know how you keep your body together. I don't know how you don't get incredibly lonely on the road. I don't know. The mental battle of MLB player is huge alongside the physical battle, obviously, and you're failing a lot. And there's a lot of droughts that come with that. And to have the mental toughness to stay positive, wonderful. I think that's the most important thing that baseball players have. AJ has a question for you, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, I know you played for almost 20 years. I just wonder, in the clubhouse, how did that clubhouse change from, say, your first year in the bigs to your last year? I've talked to some guys that maybe played 15, 20 years, and they were just the drastic difference from when they first got into the majors till the end. Just how guys kind of carried themselves, took care of their body, all of that. How did that change for you?
Oh, it changed drastically because I got called up from Double A in 1995. Never had a big league spring training. So I show up, and the Royals release Vince Coleman, like one of my childhood heroes. And I'm walking into this clubhouse, and my childhood hero is leaving. So I never had a experience of the 6 weeks of spring training at the big league level. And then there's some growing pains. They love to do the righty, lefty. If a lefty's pitching, you might not be playing. But I've always hit lefties well, so you kind of had to understand that. But I learned how to play winning baseball when I got traded to Oakland. Like, Kansas City was great. We had the best offense in the league for about 3 straight years, but we didn't have pitching at the time. I had Mike Sweeney, Jermaine Dye, Joe Randa. I mean, we got after it. Carlos Beltran. And then I had too good of a year. Got traded to Oakland with Jason Giambi and learned how to play winning baseball, learned how to have fun on and off the field, and we got after it. We won 102 games. Seattle won 116 that year, but we had Mulder, Zito, Hudson. But at the end, I became like a father figure to a bunch of these guys because I'm hanging out with the parents after the game and not the players. When I joined Tampa, I was like, wow, this is a little strange. My wife and I were like, all the kids wanted to go back to the room and play their games, and we wanted to go relax, have a good time.
Booze,
we started hanging out with the parents.
I love that, and especially if you're an OG and does it the right way, which it sounds like you did. Did you drink urine?
No, never drink urine.
Oh, that's what he did.
Sure?
Yeah, no, never.
That's what he did to stay healthy.
Good move.
No.
Did you know anyone that did? I never did.
That was moist. That was moist.
No, there could be rumors, but no, never drank it. No.
What about peeing on your hands, callus?
Callus.
No.
Make him stickier. What does that do for callus?
Sticks it, makes them stay.
Was Moises Alou the only one to do that in the league? Or was there a lot of guys peeing on their hands?
I've never
You guys
heard
peed
of
on your hands?
Kevin
I've
Millar
never
did.
heard of
Other people's
Is that something baseball does? Do you? Yeah.
No,
Who
we don't-
peed on your hands? You
We don't
peed on
talk
your-
about it. If anyone's gonna do it, it's my wife.
That's the right answer.
But we're not that way. So
You guys have so many of those like rituals and stuff because of how long the season is.
Yeah.
And every movie we've seen about baseball, there's some absurdly ridiculous routine that takes place or ritual that happens before games. Then we start learning about stuff that you guys are doing. It's like, hey, the baseball guy's kind of freaky over there.
yeah, the golden thong when you went into a slump.
Hell yeah.
We shared it in the clubhouse, so slumps didn't last too long.
Yeah, hey, listen. Let me give my ass cheek some floss here, and then we'll get out of this quickly. Tone has a question for you, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, these two were arguing, but like out in public, do more people come out to you about the Game 7 with the Red Sox or the 09 Yankees World Series run?
Man, it's both. I mean, I was a loved player.
I'm a legend everywhere, bro.
Well,
He
I
stands
was a
with the
fan
stars.
favorite everywhere. It kind of depends. So when I go to New York, I wear the New York ring. When I go to Boston, I wear the Boston ring. So,
Smart.
Yeah, I don't want to get into any trouble. I want to go about my life, but I do flash both rings at certain times, and it's a cool feeling because it's only Babe Ruth and I who were starters who won for both teams. So I'm in great company, and the Yankees need to figure it out, but the
Yes, they
Dodgers
do.
are the best team
Yeah.
out there. They're so deep.
Jeez.
And Kiki
They're saying New
Hernandez-
York is the Mets town now.
No. Tell him, Johnny.
No, not yet. No, it's it's early. It's early. But
No, they paid Juan Soto $750 million.
Oh, they can afford it, and they could give them a suite. But the Yankees, the Yankees added like 5 or 6 players who made the team better. So I think they have a stronger run against the Dodgers this year. But the Dodgers are so deep. And like Kiki Hernandez, what a great baseball player he is. He can play every position, and he has fun playing the game. Like he became one of my favorites, and I root for the back of the jersey, and he's doing great.
Connor roots for the Red Sox.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Johnny, someone asked me earlier, like, is there bad blood between Damon because he
There
went to the
was.
Yankees? I'm sure there was in the time. I think most people can agree. Any player who reversed the curse on that team is kind of good for life. So thank you for all that. But big conversation in baseball this offseason so far. Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe kind of now being okay to go into the Hall of Fame. How do baseball players feel about those two guys? Pete Rose, I think Jeff Passan said it, you can't really tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose. Do players want him in the Hall of Fame? Is that how most of the players feel about guys who might have made some questionable decisions, or is the gambling kind of separate from the steroids era, would you say?
Yeah, well, I think it's about time. I mean, it's been forever. They had to wait for him to pass to figure this out. But I was with Shoeless Joe Jackson the other day, D.B. Sweeney, down in Mexico, and we had a great time. But yeah, Shoeless Joe, like the gambling incident, gambling is all over the sport right now. And if you're going to let the fans gamble, I mean, we all played fantasy football. We're not gambling on the team. And if Pete Rose gambled on his team to win,
Yeah.
I love my manager to say we're gonna win. I'm gonna make money. We're gonna win. But I mean, let bygones be bygones. I mean, there's so many things going on. I mean, we had the Otani incident where his guy just sweep it under the rug right now. I know there's a lot of bigger issues in our world that we need to take care of, but and even the steroid issue, I was against it back in the day because I was a guy who was always accused of it because I was a beast, and and now you're seeing these guys. Like, I hope to see Barry Bonds get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He never got busted, you know.
Yeah.
His hat size, they say, is the
we can
biggest
see
indicator.
it.
Well, when we get older, I mean, everything grows.
Yeah,
like our
sure.
girth, everything.
Everything,
Everything
everything.
grows.
Yeah,
But Barry
Johnny.
Bonds was like the best player that, if you ask my era who was the best, Barry Bonds' name is first on the list.
Also-
and Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
He never got busted. He had someone try to tell on him, but Roger Clemens, amazing.
Hold on, so
Rod.
I have a question for you. During that era, when it was happening, the summer of baseball or whatever
Summer
it
of
was,
Slam.
Yeah.
when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were doing their things. that
Saved
was-
baseball.
What's that?
Saved baseball.
I think
We
so
had-
too.
we had
Biggest
horrible
ratings of all time.
Yes.
Biggest ratings of all time. We were all very interested. You were during that era. Now, the way I view it from outside looking in is that steroids was just very available.
No, like I've never saw anyone take a.
Nobody talked
injection
about it in the locker room.
No, well, especially me because I wasn't part of it. But I don't know what they talk behind closed doors.
Because like in the
It's their
NFL
business.
locker room, nobody brings it up.
Never.
Nobody talks about
Yeah,
it.
no one talks about it in the big league.
Back then, whenever that was all happening,
No.
it wasn't just like an open, like, hey, if you need some old, the baboon who's over here,
Right.
he can help. It wasn't like that. It wasn't
Never.
that lackadaisical.
It wasn't that lackadaisical, and it's grown men making decisions on their life. Let them decide what they want to do. Let them get better. I didn't have to get better, but I found out towards the end of my career, the guys who were getting popped, they were getting 4 or 5 year contracts because they cared so much about what they were doing. So I'm like, hey, have at it. Do what you want.
Yeah, but that felt good for you, looking in the mirror being like, these fuckers are using full pharmacies to keep up with me. We're about to hit a hard out, and I just want to say thank you so much for making time.
Absolutely.
I think you also follow the show, is what I've been told.
Yes, I do follow the show, and everyone follow the game tonight. My guys at Drip FC, they're bringing their A game, and we're here.
Yeah, you
We're
guys
here.
gotta win.
We're gonna battle.
Yeah, need
Yes.
to win.
You guys got to win,
Yeah,
especially
we will.
after the loss last night.
Yeah, check it out.
Big L last night, Johnny.
Yeah,
What's the score?
I don't consider it. It was 5-3, but our boys balled out. Check out the.
So they beat you guys by 2? So I didn't. This wasn't a 1.
Yeah, check it out.
We have to check this out.
It sounds like
check it out.
Okay.
Hey, we had some
Bruder
goals
film.
taken away from us. We had a few things happen.
Oh, they're against you. They're
Yeah.
working against you.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're facing a tough team, and we're facing a bigger drink company right now, and we're coming out. We're bringing our A game, So
All right.
Yes.
We're going into a hard out. We'll be back in the next hour. Chris Paul will join us. Clint Dempsey will join us. This is Johnny Damon, the absolute legend. Wayne Gretzky was on earlier. This is a historic day for us. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We'll see you in 3.
He's saying don't go off the top, it's too shallow.
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up. They start shaking it. They go, whoa. Hey, look, things are going good. Yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis, His dad was a quarterback in Texas. Yeah. His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis. Hey. Yeah, Boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of Boomer sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. That's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able to. What sign am I going to make for college game day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience. You're headed right for the boat. Right now? Yeah, for the boat. Okay, let's do it. We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go! Bad decision. The boot kickers are getting some wet down here. It's a lot higher than I thought.
You look like Ric Flair.
It was like 5 feet. I was standing there.
That's full commitment, by the way.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. Why? Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink! Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Hello, beautiful people. You are looking through the lens of a man named Scott on the gym, live from TST here in beautiful Cary, North Carolina. Hour 2 of this program starts now. CONCAFA is obviously the team that we are here representing and the team that we are proud of and a team that is potentially going to win $1 million at this TST. Right now, Hope Solo's team is taking on the Speedy Turtles right behind us. They are currently up 3-0, but let's remember that no game can end without a walk-off goal happening in target score time. This is an electrifying style of soccer. We're lucky to be here. This Cary, North Carolina Wake Med Soccer Park is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen constructed. There's been some rain today. There's going to be some lightning later, but this grass will remain impeccable, and the setup and the facilities are remarkable. Shout out to Cary, North Carolina. Shout out to the TST folks, and shout out to CONCAFA Soccer Club, potentially going on a run this year. The boys are buzzing. We're undefeated. We got a game against Wrexham. As you know, that is Mr. Reynolds and McElhaney's team that there was an entire documentary about. This is not their professional team, but I believe this is some ex-players from Wrexham that are here. They're a good squad. They'll be our best challenge. That game's taking place at 5:30 Eastern this afternoon. Cannot wait to see how the boys respond after a great day one of TST. Now, I'm not alone up here. No, one half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, AP Tone is here. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor. Then there's a man who's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, and a father of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawkins. Hawker, the legs look good, bud. You've been squatting every morning, huh? I like you showcasing the calves. There's some big-ass calves.
Well, not every morning, but I did see Grella in the weight room the other day. He's out there grinding away, getting ready for the squad, for the stretch run you guys have coming up.
Grella, a member of CONCAFA Soccer Club. At one time during the year, he was not on CONCAFA.
Yeah.
Was actually going to cancel all of CONCAFA. And then, we got Grella back on the squad, back on the right path.
Huge.
And the boys are now buzzing. It's not just, obviously, TST, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Solo FC has won the game.
They've done it.
Target score time. Solo FC dominating 4-0 win over the Speedy Turtles, who weren't speedy enough.
No, they
weren't.
weren't.
Solo FC's team, they can run. You can watch, just like in hockey, you can see what team's faster and what teams. In TST, you can see what teams are faster, what teams can run more.
Yeah.
Also, Solo FC, very deep. A lot of players on their bench. That's good news because there's a lot of subbing. Yeah. This is an exhausting event as Hope Solo puts the golden scarf, golden fleece on whoever hit the target score time. I had a chance to do that just yesterday.
What an honor.
It is an honor. NHL Stanley Cup Finals started last night. Edmonton Oilers up 1-0 in the series and an overtime win in Edmonton over the Florida Panthers. We talked to Wayne Gretzky in the first hour. He chit-chatted about how he feels it's probably going to go 7. Florida Panthers are going to answer. But maybe this is the year that a Canadian team wins the Stanley Cup for first time, long time. NBA Finals start tonight in Oklahoma City as the Thunder are 9.5-point favorites as the Indiana Pacers flew over there 2 days ago in the middle of a tornado.
Yeah.
Actually got rerouted. Plane almost ran out of gas. Had to stop in Tulsa, refuel, get back up in the sky, go over to Oklahoma City. 5-6 hours of travel time, I do believe, with probably some rocky clouds.
I'd say.
I assume it's first series in Tornado Alley.
I believe Oklahoma is right in the middle of Tornado Town.
Yes, it is.
And T's and P's, everybody. Indiana also.
Without a doubt.
This is the shortest distance between two teams that are playing in the NBA Finals. Oklahoma City and Indianapolis represented in the finals. Two small markets, two fan bases that are yearning for a dub, and two fan bases that are going to be incredibly passionate. A great style of basketball is going to be on show, on display. That happens tonight. Let's talk a little bit of NFL football. There's been some news out of a training camp happening in Indianapolis. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson has suffered a shoulder injury and will be out for minicamp next week. Shane Steichen would also go on to say that the hopes are that he will be back for training camp. The hopes are that he's back for training camp in a couple months from now is obviously a little bit alarming, but he has had a shoulder injury in the past, got tackled, had surgery, missed a season, came back last year. Obviously, he's had numerous other injuries as well throughout his short NFL career thus far. Shoulder injury, not good. Hopefully this isn't something that has been lingering, and hopefully this is something he can get past, because this year is a year where he can explode on the scene as a superstar in the NFL. Live up to the number 4 overall pick hype that he was just a few years ago. Daniel Jones has been brought in to compete with him. Danny Dimes looking to make Indianapolis his forever home after everything that happened in New York. Obviously, an injury in minicamp and OTAs is not great, but at least we got Danny Dimes there. Supposed to be a competition. What does this mean to you, AJ, looking forward for the Colts?
I mean, yeah, I believe there definitely is going to be a competition, but if you're Anthony Richardson, you want every single rep you can possibly get, whether it's OTAs, minicamp, and like you said, the fact that he said he will hopefully be available for training camp is what would worry me. Thinking, all right, we're 6-8 weeks out of training camp, 6 weeks most likely. I wanted to make sure my quarterback is 100% going into camp.
Stephen Holder reported that Shane Steichen says Anthony Richardson aggravated his right AC joint, which is the surgery that he had 2 years ago. Not great.
No, not at all.
Not great.
Especially if you're, I mean, they're not hitting him, obviously. If you aggravated just throwing, that's definitely not good.
CJ Stroud also had some soreness in his right arm. Didn't throw it at OTAs. We're all alarmed by that. Hopefully Anthony's able to get healthy. Hopefully they're able to have a full roster going into training camp and a full competition. What's that, Connor?
Well, they don't, and it sucks. But if you're Danny Dimes, this shouldn't be a competition anymore. It should be, hey, these next 2 weeks, this is my team, and after that, they're never going to turn it back over to AR. That's just me personally. I assume Danny Dimes, if he wants this to be his forever home, which hopefully he does, he will just say, you know what, this competition's over. This is my team now. I'm not going to, pitter-patter around while Anthony Richardson's getting better, I'm going to take advantage of the time and basically show everybody, hey, AR, that was a fun time, but it's Danny Dimes' time in Indy, okay? Sorry.
Leading the meeting rooms, obviously leading the hangouts, the throwing in the summer, everything like that. This does kind of open the door for Danny Dimes to potentially feel as if he is the starter, as opposed to in a competition not wanting to piss anybody off, because there's going to be allegiances and alliances in the locker room. Battling through that is a part of having a quarterback competition, especially when you bring in a guy from outside getting paid more than the rookie that was drafted number 4 overall. Interesting situation. Hate that he's hurt again, but this is kind of becoming Anthony Richardson's story in the NFL. Hopefully he's able to get healthy. Derek Carr spoke about his shoulder injury that has sidelined him for the rest of his life. This kind of came out of nowhere. This kind of came out of nowhere. So last season happens. Derek Carr and the Saints obviously don't have a great year. But then the offseason arises, and it's like, okay, Derek Carr's going to be their quarterback. He got back into throwing. He had some shoulder soreness, I guess. Then he goes to the Saints. They start talking. What's the future? What's this? He retires. He's no longer their quarterback. Now we're getting more information. He basically said he would have needed surgery. If he would have got surgery, he would have been rehabbing all season. They would have had to pay him $20 million or whatever the amount of millions it is. He would have been doing nothing. So instead of that, he just retired. Babyface move by Derek Carr. And also, how can you have that serious of a shoulder injury without knowing it for a while? That's seemingly what happened here for Derek Carr. Either he's incredibly tough and he's just like, it just hurts a little bit, or this thing came up out of nowhere. I don't fully understand how we got here.
I don't fully understand either. I would think after the season gets over, that's when you have your postseason. They check you, get your MRIs and everything, and you're thinking, if I get this shoulder,
or when
if I get an injury, let's get it fixed.
The initial injury.
Yeah, he hurt his, what was it, hand or arm or wrist, and then they didn't realize that his shoulder was hurt at all until his wrist completely healed after the season. Wrist heals, he goes to throw. Oh shit, I hurt my shoulder as well. So they just had no idea that this guy had a bum shoulder until he recovered from the initial wrist injury that he got from launching himself for a first down, which is comedy.
Yeah, it is hilarious, especially in the time of the season and the expectations at that point of the season for what Derek Carr tried to do. Kelly Moe down there is the first-time head coach of the New Orleans Saints. They know it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
They know it's going to take a while.
Long time.
They do.
But that's why everybody said, why didn't they draft Shador? They need a starter.
That's fair.
They didn't really address it early. Shador Sanders threw a touchdown to Cleveland Browns, but he can't do that.
Wow.
I wonder if Tyler Shuck is throwing any. Probably not.
Shador Sanders looking comfortable, spinning it. Touchdown, Cleveland Browns, Shador Sanders. Will he be the quarterback in the fall? We shall see. If he goes from 5th round to starter with the amount of people that are on that roster, that'll be a great story, and he has definitely earned it. Good luck to Shador. Good luck to the Sanders family. I also like the fact that Coach Prime's coming out talking, going, you guys are lying about my boy. I don't like it one bit. We shall see how it all works out. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 12-time All-Star in the NBA, 11-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defense. He bops the wood. This guy bops the wood. Ladies and gentlemen, a member of the San Antonio Spurs, also selected to the NBA's 75th anniversary team, Chris Paul.
Chris. What, no chips?
No, there, I saw.
9-time All-Defense.
How you doing?
I did not know that stat.
It's okay.
9-time All-Defense.
I did not know that stat.
Most people don't.
Legit. As I read it right there, I was like, oh, God.
Probably should have had a couple more.
Oh, it should have been 11. Should have been 10.
Probably should have couple more. Maybe like 11 or 12.
I don't get to watch because they don't show it enough. You're smacking the wood every time they're coming down.
We ain't doing all that.
Why not? We can't bop the wood a little bit?
I play offense too.
Okay, let's talk about you playing offense. You're a point guard. They put you together with Wemby down there. What was it like playing with him? Is he different than anybody that's ever played basketball? And what's your takeaway of the San Antonio Spurs going forward?
Wemby is different. He's different. Being 7'4", able to move the way that he does, and he just loves the game. He loves the hoop. I think the Spurs are going to be great. You have Harrison Barnes, who's a great vet. They brought in De'Aaron Fox. All of us, I think it's just team wants to stay healthy.
Allegedly, potential landing spot for a couple free agents. Allegedly, the San Antonio Spurs might be active in the market to get some other big-time names down there. Everybody obviously chasing the playoffs in the NBA Finals, which tip off tonight. You're a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Great years there. That fan base, we've allegedly been told, best in all of NBA.
Allegedly, huh?
I mean, it's competitive.
See that hat you got on. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, it's being alleged.
Yeah,
I've never experienced it myself. I could see, and on TV, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
What would a championship mean for that city, and why is that team perfect for that city, seemingly?
Everything. I'm sure there's the same things you would say about the Indiana fan base, about everybody just being, hard working. And I played my rookie year in Oklahoma. My first 2 years in the NBA, I played in Oklahoma because I got displaced with Hurricane Katrina. So I literally grew up there, right? My first 2 years in Oklahoma City. Then I had an opportunity to go back when I left Houston. And the fans there are just genuine. They love their team, right? They love their team. They appreciate you if you played for them before, but when you come to play against them, they're about their team.
Let's talk about SGA and his crew. Obviously, he's 6'6", I guess. I didn't know that. I had no idea he was 6'6" from watching him play, because all the NBA guys, you know this, are so abnormally tall.
So tall.
Yeah, let alone Wemby.
Me too, right?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's when I see you. You're a tall, actual human.
Yeah.
You know, walking amongst us, tall guy.
Yeah.
On a basketball court, absolutely absurd. I had no idea SGA was 6'6". Can you talk about his development from whenever he got there to what he is now? And is that the team you're picking, I assume, the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA Finals?
I ain't picking nothing. You know what I mean?
No, say it with your chest, dude.
I'm going to tell you straight up, because, I'm a fan of the game, not even trying to BS you, but one of the assistant coaches for the Indiana Pacers was in my wedding. He's like my brother.
I like that. I like that.
Gennaro Pargo, who I love, that's my brother. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be a hard-fought series. Obviously, I definitely have ties to OKC with Shea, with Lou Dort, with the coaches, with Sam Presti, all those guys. But I'm going to definitely pull up to a game to see it.
Can't wait to see you there. Can't wait to see the reaction. Let's talk about Tyrese Halliburton. I feel like he is an old-school point guard. Yeah. I feel like you probably feel the same way. I don't want to speak for you. Yeah. Whenever they look at his stats, I feel like his points are always the first thing that people attack him for. He is the facilitator for that whole team, though, and he loves that position. Is that normal in the modern NBA? And how do you view Tyrese's game?
Man, he just plays like with a spirit, with a joy. You know what I mean? And you can tell, anytime you see a point guard, you can tell how they are when you look at their teammates. Right, so his teammates, they always know they're going to get the ball at the right time. He's going to make the right play. So it's a fun way to play. But actually, my favorite player on their team to watch probably is Nembhard.
Dude, he get headbutted by Jalen Brunson.
Well, he's a two-way player. You know what I mean? He plays defense. He takes that assignment night in and night out. But also, he'll go get a bucket if you need him to.
Pascal Siakam, also insane. He can run. That team runs. How many? I think Oklahoma City probably known for the same thing. Is there teams that you guys know, like a Carlisle team, for instance, this team is going to run, and how do you prepare for that?
It's tough, man. The Pacers are like that. They play fast, right? And the thing is, any great team, they want to figure out what their identity is. And that's what the Pacers figured out, and that's what OKC figured out. OKC's so good. Shea's out there, Jalen Williams out there, but all of those guys, they star in their role. They defend, and they have fun playing defense.
9-time all defensive selection. Should have been 11.
Should have been. Or 12.
Maybe even 13. How many years you been in the league?
Just finished 20.
Jeez. Man. Oh, yeah, definitely just 12. Those first 7 years. AJ has a question for you.
Yeah, so if you were coaching the Pacers, how do you beat this Oklahoma City team? We hear no matter how much the Pacers want to run, OKC can run. They can kind of do whatever you want. Whatever version you want to play.
Yeah. Yes, your scouting report. You're a point guard. You're a coach on the
because
court.
It does kind of seem like to take on OKC and beat them seems like it's a very, very difficult task right now. How would you go about attacking them, I guess?
What's interesting is watching Indiana play in the playoffs, right? Even when they played against the Knicks, most people, if you talk hoops with them, they like, man, look at the score of this game. Usually the playoffs are a lot slower, low-scoring games. I think it was tough for the Knicks to beat them because you look at it still looked like a regular season game. So I think that's a lot of credit to Indiana in continuing to play at that pace. And that's hard to do, especially in the playoffs when everybody's trying to grind out each possession. Like, that's a mindset that you have to have, that make or miss, get the ball out, and we gone.
I think it scored 130.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Playoff.
In a playoff game.
It's fun to watch.
It's fun
to watch, man.
And if you score on them, they don't care.
Nope.
Like if you score on them, their entire bench, I was lucky to sit in, push. Like literally, as soon as that ball's in the bucket, that thing's coming back the other way.
And if you can do that consistently all game long, it's like
It wears you out.
yeah,
I feel like it would be.
It can, but if there's a team that's built for it, is OKC.
Yeah.
Connor has a question for you, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, a lot of conversation after this whole Dallas Mavericks thing getting the number 1 overall pick. Shaquille O'Neal came out with a story. David Stern asked him if you want to play in the hot or the cold. He said hot. The Magic get the first pick. LeBron said some things about, it's not as big of a coincidence that the Cleveland got the first pick when I was there. Derrick Rose with Chicago.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was the situation where your trade, allegedly, when the owner owned the Pelicans, Hornets would then...
Alleged.
That wasn't alleged.
That wasn't alleged.
Yeah, you're right.
I just want to make sure. I never
that
know.
happened.
That did happen. David Stern said, no, we're not letting you go to L.A. How do you feel about the fodder around the first pick? Because, most people think, of course, the Mavericks trade Luka to L.A. What do the Mavericks get? They get Cooper Flagg, who's everyone's saying is worth $500 to $1 billion by the time it's all said and done.
Well,
what do you think about that?
Just so you know, I'm just like everybody else, right? Like I'm a fan. I was at home in LA and I was watching the ping pong balls like everybody, and then when I seen the Spurs, they popped into like the top 4.
Yeah,
yes.
So we was going crazy. Guys in my team group chat, we like, oh shit, what's about to happen? And I'm in LA right now, and Cooper Flagg has been out there. I've been in the gym with him a couple times or whatnot. So he is as real as advertised. So for me, I don't know. I'd be like, damn, that is crazy.
Yeah.
that is crazy. But just so you know, that Lakers situation, that's not allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah, so what, the team owned the Pelicans at the time, though, right? The league owned.
The league owned, right? So our owner at the time, George Shinn, I guess it fell on hard times and didn't have the money. And so he basically gave or sold the team back to the NBA, to the league.
And they were running it at the time. And Stern said, we're not. Yeah, right.
Let him go play with Kobe.
You think I'm trading Chris Paul? Yeah, right.
No way.
I get to own a team.
What's interesting is it was right after the CBA negotiations, right? So
and you were a pretty big voice in that entire thing?
I was on the executive committee at the time.
Oh, nice. That's a good spot to be in the ownership odds.
They're really screwed.
If it's anything like the NFL.
Yeah.
If it's anything like, are you an unrestricted free agent right now?
Yeah. I will be. Yeah.
And you're playing?
That's my plan, is to play.
Okay, so I know 20 years in, you look in phenomenal shape. You have a snack company that's like healthy snacks.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing them.
I assume, yeah, thanks for bringing it. Last year we got a 6-pack.
Oh, we got them right here.
We're the pickled chips, man.
Where the snacks? Yo, they're over there having a conversation.
Yeah, as they should.
Snacks. Where are the snacks?
Yeah, snacks. Do we have the snacks?
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, you take care of your body.
Yeah,
Body's
absolutely.
the temple. Obviously, you're all in.
Absolutely.
Have you thought about how many more years? Is there a conversation? Because everybody right now is doing the LeBron combo.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how much longer can LeBron go? How much longer can LeBron? Hey, team. How you guys doing? Hey, eating good. We're eating good out here. Thank you so much.
The Big Deal Ranch.
Thank you, Big Deal
all that.
Ranch.
Big Deal Ranch is my go-to.
Thank you.
That's my favorite right there. You got to try that.
This is good eating popcorn. It has surprisingly plant-based ingredients inside of it. No artificial flavors, no preservatives, no synthetic colors, and it's deliciously vegan.
That's true.
Okay, so this one is popped in coconut oil. Obviously,
Nice.
that's what you're supposed to
It's a
do.
big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good for you.
I like to cook my steaks in coconut oil, or just get a little fish oils as well for the joints. Everything that Chris Paul is
Beef
doing.
tallow.
But everybody's talking about LeBron. How long's LeBron going to go? How long?
Yeah.
For you, similar situation. What is the conversation you have? Like, is it with your family? Is it with your agent? Is it with yourself? Is it with a trainer? How does it go about that decision and looking at the future?
It's with my family more than anything. I see you, Pat, and how many kids you have now?
One daughter,
Yeah,
Mackenzie.
one daughter. I see you with your daughter all
Thank
the
you.
time.
She's
man.
beautiful.
I know everybody has their own situations. I talk to my family about it. My son just turned 16. My daughter's 12. The past 6 seasons, I've lived without them. Right? So I go to San Antonio, Phoenix, Golden State. No, they were in Houston with me. Okay, see, but I've been around a few teams, but I've been away from them for the last 6 years, so it's a little different.
That's the conversation?
That's the conversation.
You think body's good?
Yes.
You think body's good for this season, or do you think, like, I could still play for a while if I wanted to?
Well, I don't think I want to play for a while. I'm being honest with you. Like, I want to be dad. I mean? I still love to play. I was up in the gym at 6 a.m. this morning.
How do we shoot? Pretty good?
I didn't shoot this morning. I worked out this morning. But yesterday I was in the gym. Day before I was in the gym, and it's crazy. My daughter actually hoops now. So before I flew out here, I was in the gym with her for 20 minutes. Like with kids, sometimes you just got to do short sessions. So I was in 20 minutes doing ball handling with her, and it was priceless. You don't get that time back.
Yeah, you're right. And it seems to go faster as they get older, from what I've been told.
Yeah, but I want to hoop because I love to hoop, but at the same time, I do want to be dad.
You're kind of battling
Yeah,
that.
I mean, Boston's a good place to bring the family.
That's really
He lives
far.
in LA now.
That's the furthest you could possibly.
But I'm just saying, some of those other places maybe not the best. Boston, the schools.
Is that right?
The high schools, the private schools.
Yeah, that's what we've heard about
colleges.
Boston.
All that. Huh?
Yeah, I'm telling
very
you.
welcoming people.
It's up and coming. It's up and coming.
Ty has a question for you, Chris.
What's up?
I'm curious how the players in the NBA feel about it. We always talk about the NFL, like going into a season, every single fan base is like, hey, we can win a Super Bowl this year. But guys who actually play or people who are in the know, like there's probably only 8 teams who are going to compete this year. We've seen that. I think this is going to be the 7th or the 8th year in a row where a different champion is crowned.
Yeah, it is.
Does it feel like going into seasons like with where the parity's at in the league, like more teams can actually compete and win a title?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on all these different committees for years and know how they want parity in the league. But the thing that you can't ever calculate is injuries, right? Injuries are everything in any league.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson just hurt his shoulder in OTAs for the Colts. We're out of quarterback.
Again.
Thanks for bringing it up. Just happened 10 minutes ago.
But those are the things, the injury to Jason Tatum, right? Kyrie Irving getting hurt when he did. All these different guys, you know what I mean? What is y'all laughing at?
I'm just hammering.
We're eating your popcorn. We're getting bitched at. We are getting yelled at from the
Our
truck.
sound guy just came into our house.
we are
and said,
getting yelled
Connor, if you eat another chip in the microphone, I'm going to kill you.
Get some chips, man.
Hey, this is good eating. This is good eating.
Eat them chips, man. How's been
Injuries.
going out here? My bad. How you doing out here?
I played last night.
Oh, I seen it.
Yeah, okay.
You had a wide open shot.
Excuse me, the goalie was in perfect position. That goalie for their team was really good. Gave up 5, but he was really.
He was working all night.
Good player.
You had a wide open shot from the
I think
right.
that was actually a new goalie that had to give up any.
Put it into the woods.
This
Chris.
is the one that really should have gone in.
But look at that assist. I'm Chris Paul.
Yeah, what are you
that
going to do?
Get that out of here.
Chris Paul with the assist. And then here's Porch, might be the best player in the league. He actually won the tournament last year.
That right there.
Yeah, but look at the
you
goal.
almost hurt yourself.
No, not almost. Yeah, we're in a bad spot.
See the power on the shot, though?
I fell a couple times last night. I hadn't touched a soccer ball since last year's TST.
I remember what you did last year.
Thank you, Chris. Jeez. This is a great tournament. Hey, this is a great tournament. You're a part of it, right?
Absolutely. We are so grateful for y'all being here. Seriously, man. Seriously. It's something that I look forward to. Obviously, I wish I was in the finals and couldn't be here, but listen, this is a great time.
Are you going to play ever? Running your mouth a lot. Are you ever going to get on the field?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe you play for our team next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
If I'm done playing, if I've retired, I will absolutely get out there with y'all.
Okay, you're on.
Deal?
All right, deal.
I get out there with y'all.
Hey, Chris,
I get out there with
from what I know with the way you play and the way you operate, you're going to love our team.
Yeah.
We are a hard-nosed team.
Is that right?
We're smacking the wood.
Talk a lot of junk.
Yeah, a lot of shit being taught out of our. Tone has a question for you, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, last week we played a clip of Joe Flacco. He was asked about mentoring Shadur and Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, the younger quarterbacks on his team, and he basically said, if I answer this and say, yeah, I want to be a mentor, it means I don't want to start. Or if I say, no, I don't want to be a mentor, it makes me look like an asshole. He basically said, if these guys don't pay attention to what I'm doing and realize that I've been in the league for 15, 16 years, whatever it is, like that's kind of on them. How does the NBA treat that? Like now that you're a veteran, the Spurs obviously had the last 2 Rookie of the Years. Like, do you feel like you have to be a mentor, or is it on them to kind of follow you and watch kind of what you do?
I think it's a combination of both, but you got to be who you are.
Yeah.
Right? And I've genuinely always I'm not a hoarder of information. Right? So I'm going to share what I know, what I see to all the guys that's been my teammates. But I say this all the time. Guys only going to respect what you're saying if you can hoop.
Yeah.
Right? And then this new generation, they don't care about what you did. They want to know what you can do now. And so from the different teams that I went to when I went to San Antonio this past summer, the first time I went to go hoop with the guys, I don't know why I remember this. I think it was because it was around my daughter's birthday. It was August 12th through the 16th. It was a mini camp.
Yeah.
And I treated that like almost like the finals because your first impression is everything. right? So I made sure that when I came to the gym that I was in tip-top shape, and when we hoop, I was gonna get to it. Because once they see that, now they'll listen to you, and the mentorship kind of happens.
Okay, so let's talk about you saying being in tip-top shape and showing up like that was the finals. Luka just came out on the Mind the Game podcast and said that when he got to LA, I seen this guy do something never seen before. He said he was there 10 hours before the game. He said, I was getting there and he was already finished with his workout. Feels like I've heard that story a couple different times. And is your generation like kind of the last generation that was those types of dudes? Do younger generation guys pick it up from you guys? Like, how do you think that kind of works? And you obviously know LeBron very well. Has he always been that way? And what is your shit? I assume you're a very diligent worker as well. You didn't put up any shots today. I actually, I put up some shots today. I think my jumper got better today.
Sure.
Chris?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, when you get older, you actually like work out more, right? So
takes longer.
Yeah, I mean, we have shoot around at 10 o'clock this past season, 7:30 a.m. every single day. Myself and Harrison Barnes is at the gym every single day, right? It's just, it's part of your routine, right?
Do you drink your own urine? I don't know. That's what he did.
Hell no.
That's what he did. That's what AJ
To get
did.
better. Have not.
Who told you that?
He just did this with Johnny Damon. It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
But no.
I've heard of that before. Too.
Bingo, yeah, right
Any
here.
basketball players you know?
To each his own.
Oh no, I don't. No judgment if you do.
No respect.
But I understand. My pee is so hot. I'm not drinking it.
Why not? You put it in the fridge.
Well, yeah,
bud.
cool. Freeze it.
Yeah.
I would never.
Toss a couple
I'd
ice
never
cubes
say
in
never.
there.
But I've not
Yeah.
tried it.
So what do you do?
Plan on trying.
What do you do?
Okay.
You do acupuncture and all that? Do you have like a full?
Yeah, I do sauna, cold tub, massage, diet, all this different type of stuff, man. But the biggest thing I try to tell you, got like keep moving, right?
Yeah, I'd
More
stop.
than anything, keep moving.
Yeah, that's why you saw what you saw yesterday. I don't move a lot. I move
I
and
don't
then I
believe
sit. Will you work out forever? You think? You think you'll be a guy that wakes up every morning, works out forever?
Yes.
You won't get like super lazy when you retire?
No, I'm. There's a level of vanity that goes to it too. I'm outside a little bit too much. You know what I mean? I go too many places.
Yeah.
And
too good of a smile.
And you know what? You former athletes, right? Former athletes. When you meet other former athletes, right? And you see them and they don't look like they did. As soon as they walk away, what y'all say? I'll be like,
fat ass. Connor has a question.
Let himself go.
Yeah, Chris. Another thing I feel as though came up last year a little bit was kind of the changing of how the NBA is getting more physical and how awesome it is. And now this year, the conversation throughout the playoffs, especially with Brunson and SGA, has been kind of the free throw artist type of it. You've been all NBA defense 9 times. When you're playing someone who you know kind of flops, if you will, when you get a little physical with them, how do you kind of get over that? Because we saw Jaden McDaniels at one point say, like, all right, screw it. Like, I'm just going to push him as hard as I can to the ground. And I know SGA's your guy, and you guys have, a great relationship, but that style of basketball as an old school player, does that bother you at all when you see it happening, just because of how different it is and how the old school guys look at the free throw artist as like, yeah, see, this is why they wouldn't be able to play in the 90s and all that?
the game has changed, right? And fortunately, I've played long enough to be able to see it change. Somebody was showing I saw a playoff game on Instagram the other day from back when I first came in the league, and the final scores were in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, the game changes, right? And so guys are stronger, maybe faster or whatnot, learn new moves and all this stuff. So I think you just got to study and know what they like to do. Like, I play against Shea too, and I know that he's going to try to hit me with that forearm or whatnot, right? But the same thing with Nembhard. Y'all ever seen Nembhard when he drive and he hit guys with that shoulder? There's a physicality of the game, but there's an awareness that you got to guard and you got to be ready for that, right? So it's tough, and this is why this is the best players in the world, night in and night out, trying to figure out how to curate points.
Yeah, you got to change the game. You can't let the game change you. Ain't that right, Chris?
Look at you, bars.
Well said.
Bars.
I didn't make it up. That's been said before.
Yeah, Shrek.
Definitely. We actually have a graphic for you to see, Chris, just so you could see what it could potentially look like next year.
Wow.
Wow.
Potential. Another potential signing with Messi.
Yeah.
Messi was up there.
Messi was up here.
Lou Messi, not Lionel. Lou. And we're trying to get him
name.
to play for the United States of America, too, because he's lived in Miami for a while now. We think that should be fair. But Lou Messi, a potential signing. There's a chance he gets $1 billion offer from Saudi, I guess. Have you heard about
for
that?
TST?
I ain't heard about that.
No, there's been a lot of conversation, a lot of soccer chatter. You know, I've been around it here
Yeah,
for the last couple
Oh
days.
yeah, him
And Lionel Messi's contract is coming up.
I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, I think they're
late entry Royal Rumble. Oh no, someone.
So there's been a
Oh,
there's been a player laying down here
Oh, no.
from the Say Word FC team for the last few minutes.
Oh shit.
I'd say like 10 minutes. I think there has been a group of people standing over there. Did not know that there was a player down in that group, but there has been a player down. Seemingly got injured
Says a coach.
during warm-ups.
Seems to be sitting up.
Passed out.
Passed out.
A coach. We're getting word that a coach passed out on the field there during warm-ups for Say Word FC.
Man,
It's
prayers
been,
up.
yeah, definitely. It has been a. He didn't move. We did see him move though, right, Zeke? If we had to,
He's up right now.
Yeah, he's
okay.
sitting up.
All right. So we have. There was a while
Goodness.
though he was just down.
Yeah.
Like while you were giving a great answer, it was a great answer. I didn't listen to any of it, but the tone you were
chill.
speaking seemed to be a good answer.
Yo,
I was looking this
you
way.
sick. You are sick.
Yeah, but I saw him move, Chris. I saw him move.
Good answer.
Oh, he's
I
up
was
moving
thinking
around.
Oh, he
that.
good.
There
He
we go.
good. Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah.
That's scary stuff. You never know. You literally never know what it could be. Happy he's okay. So you could potentially be on CONCAFA next year. Good luck to you and all your decision making that you have to do.
Man, I appreciate y'all.
And you would like to make a prediction for the finals. We appreciate you doing that.
Who you predicting?
Me, Pacers in 6.
You think so?
Pacers in 6.
Okay.
AJ,
Pacers in 6, bro. Yeah.
Connor,
Thunder in 5.
disgusting. Ty,
Pacers 7.
love that. Tone,
Same.
Chris,
Do y'all contractually have to say that?
I said, what are you talking about? I said Thunder.
No, he said Pacers.
I don't know. Do we want our food to get spit in? Do we go out to eat?
I had Thunder in 5.
he said Thunder in 5. Quick series, he said actually. Your prediction, Chris Paul,
It's going to be a good series.
7 games.
You think?
That's what you just said.
Good
I said it's going to be a good series.
6 games, he says.
Okay.
Great series would be 7.
Yeah.
Got it.
Smart.
Anything else? Who has more talent?
You know what's funny, honestly, and I tell you this, it's cool for guys to get their predictions and all that stuff like that. But I always say this, I play. Like, I still play.
Isn't it so stupid, the predictions thing? How are you supposed to know?
No, it ain't even that. It's just that the way that I'm like built and orchestrated, it's hard for me to fool with you after I seen you say that you think somebody else is going to win. That's
Yeah, because
me.
you have no idea what's going to happen, first of all. We don't. When we make predictions, people care so much. If you were to give a prediction right there, Chris Paul hates the Pacers.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been immediately. Last thing here before we let you go, and we appreciate your time. Adam Silver talked about a Team USA versus Team World concept that they're going to do for the All-Star game. I believe he was on Fox on
Yeah, I believe he was on Breakfast Ball.
Breakfast Ball, Morning Ball. He said on there that this is something they've been thinking about. Obviously, a lot of players are interested in this. Do you think this will heighten the All-Star game? Because Pro Bowl has a problem, too. We went to flag football. The NHL figured out with 4 nations. I think Adam Silver's seeing that and saying, hey, there's a chance we can maybe capitalize on this. Do you think guys will care if Team World was to beat the Team USA's ass? Do you think that'll matter?
I got a lot of thoughts and stuff on the All-Star game stuff. You know, that was news to me when I seen that, too.
What are your thoughts on the All-Star game?
I mean, it needs some shaping and some fixing. Hopefully this does it. What they tried last year wasn't it. You know what I mean?
I'd say.
Yeah.
That was on the same weekend as 4 nations, too, with hockey.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, a few years ago
tough.
when it was in Chicago, I don't know if that was 2020, 2021, or whatnot. We took the model from the TBT, and that was the first All-Star game with the target score.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time we did an All-Star game with that target score.
I believe in basketball, it's called Elam.
Elam ending.
Elam ending,
Exactly.
I believe is the name
Yep.
of it. It's great. There's always a walk-off.
Exactly. So we did it in the All-Star
It works.
game, the Chicago All-Star game.
works.
for when it was-
Should that do that for USA World? Should have target score time.
Absolutely.
The worry I know is just like anytime it's an all-star game, like Luka and Jokic make a point to just basically dick around. Like, will guys actually try still? I mean, it's not just them two. But
First and foremost, you just got to make sure that the guys really want to compete or whatnot, you got to have them play for something. Being at the union
money.
for years, we took the money up, right? We took the money up to a certain number, right? So now the number might have to go up again.
Yeah, it does.
4 Nations.
Get in there and negotiate it.
That's no.
That's for you to do.
No.
4 Nations was just trophy, and guys were out
Pride.
for the entire season.
Pride.
Like Matthew Tkachuk and Charlie McAvoy both got hurt for the entire. The last thing they did in the regular season for hockey was play for their country, and then they were out until the playoffs.
They cared, Chris.
Yeah.
They
Like
cared.
that's why people are like, "Hey, they're comparing to 4 Nations."
Baseball doesn't do what's his name anymore, though, do they? Like the winning team.
No,
gets
no,
home.
yeah,
no,
they
no.
home
They
field
stopped
advantage
doing
in
that.
the World Series. Yeah, they got rid of that.
All right, Chris, we'll assume you'll figure it out. We appreciate you doing that. Good luck in your free agency journey. Good luck in your basketball journey. Good luck in your family journey. And good luck next year when you're playing for CONCAFA.
Yeah.
Okay, we need a goal out of you. Okay, if there's a wide open shot, we need you to put that in.
I gotta ask Muger them, is that in the bylaws? If I can play on the team.
The bylaws look good to me, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Paul.
Yeah, Chris.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Buddy. Appreciate you, man. You're the best. You're the best.
Appreciate y'all.
You're the absolute best.
Hey, come to Boston. It'd be fun. Seriously.
Come to
man. Thank
we
you.
gotta.
Why not?
Hey, where are you thinking about going? Anywhere?
We said Spurs last year, and then he went.
We're still live. Are you going anywhere? Are you
Do you wanna
thinking about
announce it?
playing?
Yeah, you do.
That was bullshit.
That's a lie.
That feels like bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, he'll be on CONCAFA next year, unless he plays again.
Sure. I mean, if he can cut it, let's be real. There's a lot of good talent on Concave.
Yeah, there is. There was actually some talent from last year's team that acknowledged that there was a lot better talent this year and say, you know what, you can have my minutes. There's a lot better team here for CONCAFA.
That's a good team.
Maybe Chris Paul will be joining us. Our team would be great. A guaranteed dub.
Amen.
If this next person that's joining us would join our team. He was a pro soccer player, obviously, for 141 caps.
Wow.
For the United States of America. He's a 2016 MLS Cup champ with the Sounders, which they talk about as.
Yeah, a lot of people say that's one of the best professional sports teams of all time.
He's tied with Landon Donovan for the most international goals at 57. We need him. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who is launching a brand new podcast with the Men in Blazers Media Network called The Deuce. Ladies and gentlemen, Clint Dempsey.
Yeah.
What's up? How's it going, Mr. CONCAFA?
CONCAFA, have some respect,
my bad.
Clint. Jesus. We appreciate you joining us, man. And obviously, we hope you'll get down here to TST in the future. It is a beautiful celebration of the sport that you were so damn great at for so long. Let's talk about you moving into the media world a little bit more here with the Deuce, with the Men in Blazers Media Network. When can we expect it? What's it going to be? And congratulations. This is awesome news for everybody.
Appreciate it, man. Starting on the 7th, I'm happy to be joining Men in Blazers and the platform they've created, and Raj, the energy he brings to the game, and covering the U.S. As they have these friendlies go into the Gold Cup. It's kind of a stressful time as we build towards the World Cup with the performance we've had in the past, but it's a platform where you can just kind of keep it real and shoot people straight, and hopefully people tune in and watch it.
You're one of the greatest United States soccer players of all time. You'll be in the Mount Rushmore conversation as Chris Paul just hucked some chips across the stage. Sorry about that. Shout out to Chris Paul. Good pass, though. Still got it.
Still got it.
Still got it.
Still
That was a
bringing
good
it.
pass there. You're one of the greatest United States soccer players of all time. I grew up dreaming of being on the United States soccer team. You've won the Gold Cup 3 times. You've had a lot of success. Our U.S. soccer team, our men's team, has not had a lot of success. This was supposed to be the generation in the era that was going to be great, too. What are your thoughts on the state of U.S. soccer? And can we win this damn thing? We would like to win it all. We would like us to win it all. Is that ever possible, or how long do you think?
I mean, I think it's possible, but hey, you got to look at the scenario we're in. I mean, we're last Copa America. I think we're the first host country to never get out of the group, so that was a failure. And then you have CONCACAF Nations League semifinals where we lost to Panama, and then we also lost to Canada in the fourth place game. And then for me, this kind of makes Gold Cup important again. I mean, back when I was playing, there was a few Gold Cups where if you won it, you got to go to Confederations Cup. But for me, this is such a huge tournament. It's because it gets this fan base back on board and get people, believing again in this U.S. team and what they can do. Because you're never going to have moments like this or opportunities like this to play in a World Cup in your own country. You know what I mean? You saw what happened with '94, how it brought about the professional league of MLS. So it's a big opportunity. If we don't take advantage of it, man, it would be one of the biggest failures of all time.
Why would it be? Would it be because of the players? Would it be because of the system? Would it be because of the selection process? Like, what do you think is the thing that has held us back?
Man, that's a great question. I think there's a few things. I think since COVID, you have a situation where you have the same teams just playing each other too often. You have CONCACAF Nations League, you got Gold Cup, you got World Cup qualifying, and you're just playing the same teams over and over. I think it'd be better if you kind of mixed it up where you had Gold Cup, then it was Nations League was the next year, then another year would be like a Copa America, and then it makes it a little bit more prestigious not to have it back to back to back all the time. But and also to give you opportunities to play against other countries and in their countries. I think that only helps you to get better. It gets people more excited about playing in those type of games. I think by playing, the same teams over and over and over, it kind of loses the hype and maybe it makes people not to want to get called in or come in. But for me, it was always represent my country. I always dreamed about playing for my country, playing in World Cup as a kid. That's what I pray to God at night for. So, anytime there was a tournament, if I could walk, man, I was going to be there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're a dog. I feel like we need more of yous nowadays. Hopefully we'll be able to get that under Coach Ponch, who I assume one of the boys is going to ask about. You talk about, too many of similar opponents and maybe people losing interest. I think there's a lot of interest in the MLS right now, maybe more so than ever. I remember when Beckham was brought in, given a percentage of the league and a future team, and I forget how many millions he was making every 2 days. It was a massive ordeal. It was supposed to swing the MLS into superstardom. Kind of happened. Obviously, Beckham sold places out. But with Messi coming over, every stadium was sold out. The Apple deal obviously was a big one for the league. Who knows what the future looks like in either of those. You're a former MLS Cup champ. Do you like where the MLS is? You've obviously played around the world. Is it good enough? Should we talk shit for the MLS more for it being a good league? Or what are your thoughts on the home domestic league here?
I would say yes and no. I would say yes, it's bigger than it's ever been. Players are making more money than they've made in the past. It's more. It's something that's being covered more often. You talk about Messi and what he's able to do in terms of bringing mainstream America to watching soccer here. Because in the past, it seemed like it was every 4 years when a World Cup happens that soccer would kind of move the needle. And where Messi coming to Inter Miami, he is the needle. He moves that every season that he's around and the popularity that gets to it. The only thing that maybe I worry about a little bit is the young American that's developing and whether or not we're finding these creative players that are able to take risks, take people on, and be into the attack, or is it going to more South American type players? Back in the day, it just seemed like there was more young guys that were attacking players that were American that were making the All-Star, and I'm just not really seeing that much lately.
You think we've lost our pizzazz? Used to take dudes on. Quick feet.
Yeah.
Quick feet. We want
the Ghana goal.
Lost our
I think I'd like to see more of it, man. I like to see people being creative and taking people on. If you don't have someone to pass to, try to create something, make something happen. I think too many times people play safe, they play back, they play sideways just to keep the ball. And there's just certain times
Amen, brother.
you need to pull the trigger. You need to get the ball to Pat McAfee, get that cross into Grella.
Hey, come on. Hey, amen, Clint. Amen. Hey, we need to have one here.
Yeah.
Why not
think about having one?
Why not have one?
Find the boots.
Find the boots. Rip one. A lot of the boys are getting baptized in soccer here. There's a 14-year-old from Philadelphia.
Kevin Sullivan.
Yep. Have you heard about this dude? Have you talked to this guy? They're already shipping him out of the country. It's what are we doing? Why don't we let this guy play? Why don't we? Isn't that the type of player that we should be, trying to make a great? I don't know. How do you feel about the treatment of South?
I mean, I think wherever you're going to play is the most important thing. Wherever you're going to go and get the best coaching and get the best opportunity to get games. If you're not getting in games, then what's the point if you're sitting on the bench? So I think there's a way that you just got to make the right decisions on the teams you go to. Are they playing the style of play that you like to play? Are they allowing you to express yourself? Or are they trying to change your game? I mean, it's kind of like picking a college. You know what I mean? You got to figure out what's going to be the right fit for you, and hopefully he makes the right decision. But I think there's a balance. You can have players that are going to Europe, being young and competing at the best clubs, but at the same time, there's some people that got to go the MLS route first, and I was one of those guys. I paved my way in MLS, broke into the national team, and then through doing well in World Cups, it got me to go to Europe and play in the Premier League.
One of the first ever out of the United States of America. Obviously, Tim Howard had quite a run in the Premier League. You as well, Clint Dempsey. Us young lads looked up to you. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Clint, that's kind of what my question was around. It feels like the lure, the prestige of the Premier League and playing over in Europe is like the young U.S. stars are going over there and just sitting on the bench. Feels like Christian at this point is really the only one who's going over there and getting meaningful minutes. Like, do you think the U.S. team would fare better if the U.S. talent stayed home more and just got more playing time and kind of were more of a cohesive unit?
I think it's a mix, right? You need people that are staying home, getting those regular minutes for their club. But we got Anthony Robinson, Tyler Adams, and Christian and Weston McKennie are doing well in Europe. But it's also picking the right teams, picking the right leagues. I like what Holland has there in terms of playing for like an Ajax or PSV. It's a place that you can kind of go there and develop, or if you're able to go to Portugal, play with like FC Porto or Benfica, teams like this that have a history of producing young, talented players. I mean, getting the opportunity, and Dortmund as well in the Bundesliga, where you've seen Christian kind of come through.
Love Dortmund.
Who looked real bright, but picked up some injuries. But I think you got to have a mix.
I'm eating chips right now, so I apologize for being disrespectful. But Clint, we need you down here at TST. Will you play for our team next year?
Hey, you never know, man. Hey, have Mike Grella hit me up.
Do you still got it? You play it all?
I play a little bit with my kids, but I mean, I could go out there and maybe do a little something, be a super sub.
You never
Welcome to the team, Clint.
Yeah.
Probably
Welcome
couldn't
to the
have
team.
Grella hit him up because he's going to take his spot.
CONCAFA, let's go.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, you
Boom.
nailed it. You're the man.
Boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest of all time, the host of The Deuce from the Men in Blazers Media Network, and next year a member of CONCAFA. Ladies and gentlemen, Clint Dempsey.
Hell.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank y'all again. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Clint. Rapper as well.
Yeah.
Chess player.
Very talented.
He was a dog
speaker.
on the field.
Yes, he was.
He wanted to try people.
He made it cool.
He
to
made
watch.
it fun to watch Team USA.
Yeah, and then his raps weren't like corny.
No.
Like, oh no, Clint Dempsey has come out with a song. I was very scared as a massive Clint Dempsey fan. I was like, we don't need to be doing that. Then he listened to it. It's like, oh, Clint Dempsey's got bars actually.
Name's right in the song.
was-
Don't tread on this guy.
It was great for the soccer world.
Seriously.
I'm happy he's getting back into the media world. Him talking about it, just like Wayne talking about it, is good for the sport. With the World Cup coming around, the CONCAFA pod, Clint Dempsey with the Deuce, feels like soccer's kind of back in it, AJ.
The U.S. has to do well this World Cup. I mean, like Clint said, every 4 years the World Cup comes up, and it does soccer does move the needle. And these people become household names. Like, do we have those guys right now? Pulisic?
He's not even playing in the Gold Cup.
I know he's
The
on the
US
Gold
has
Cup,
never.
but are we
But
counting on
even-
who are our marquee dudes for the U.S. that we're focusing on?
Our marquee dudes we're focused on is Kevon Sullivan. Look, we talked to some former Team USA members yesterday, and I'll tell you what, I'm punting on the World Cup next year. Word on the street is these boys are already tired. We were pretty worried about their mentality going into it, and sure, they got all the skill in the world, but and I'm not going to quote verbatim what they said, but look, you got a guy who's coaching the team who doesn't really want to be there. You got players.
He wants to be there.
You got players that aren't the best in the country that don't want to play on the team.
What?
We're calling a guy Captain America. Has Christian Pulisic ever even been a freaking captain of a team? I don't know, because I don't know shit about soccer. But what I do know is the vibes aren't high on
I
this year's
disagree.
team.
We're finding our team.
It's
Christian
It's a
Pulisic,
little late
it's
in the
too late.
game to be finding our team.
Thank
the
you.
World Cup's right around the corner.
Thank you.
Have you been doing your part? No.
Yeah.
What's on our hats?
USA Baseball.
The flag.
You guys haven't done your part at all.
Tell you what, I think
What
Ponch
do you
does
mean?
care.
Boots. Find the boots.
Ponch does care, but if he doesn't, I saw a coach down in a lobby hotel this morning watching tape and trying to get better. That's a real coach.
You're talking about Coach Miola and Coach Tab Ramos?
Yeah.
Tab Ramos. Wow.
So Tab Ramos, just real quick, I think he was the first ever draft pick of the MLS. He's top 2 United States soccer player of all time. He's been coaching in multiple places. Him and Tony Miola, best friends, and he's our assistant coach for CONCAFA.
Coached in the World Cup for Team USA when they went on that run and beat Algeria. And all.
Just so him coming and doing CONCAFA. So I thanked him like 10 different times.
So cool.
Thank you for doing this, like legitimate, and also invested and
Yeah.
has learned our players. They're watching film. They're trying to figure out 7-on-7. It's a big opportunity. I think it's good for the sport here.
Yeah.
I think it's big. Here's Tony Miola and Tab Ramos watching film this morning in the lobby of the hotel. Obviously, they had a meeting, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Let's go ahead, 7 a.m. Tob, you and me will watch film of the team. Who's our guys, who's not our guys?
Yeah.
You think they watched my minute and a half last night?
Yeah,
I would
no
assume
doubt
so.
about it. We were eating breakfast right by it.
That's when they were just enjoying it going, you son of a bitch.
When I sat with them for a second, they were watching the Bournemouth film. I don't think they had made it to last night's game yet.
Did not love the way we started in the Bournemouth. 0-0, KG affair, very dominant. We got to start taking more guys on. With that being said, it's been raining for like the last hour. There's just people posted up out here. We appreciate you guys.
Rock and roll.
It's beautiful down here in Cary, North Carolina. Let's go back to the truck. Bubba Gumpino is back there. Gumpy is one of the assistant coaches for CONCAFA SC. Gumpy, how do you feel about the tournament and how the team's doing?
The squad is unbelievable this year. We are just on a different level from start to finish. Last night, I mean, Chad Porch, everybody's getting involved. Everybody's getting touched. It's been an absolute joy to watch these boys.
Yeah, it is good. I don't like that our assistant coach is gassing the boys up as much. Tony Miola will come in and bury him.
I heard he was pissed at the start of the game last night.
He was not happy about our warm-ups yesterday. So we had 5 balls for warm-ups. 4 of them got blasted into the woods. So we had 1 ball for warm-ups for our entire team. So there's a lot of standing around, dicking around.
Yeah.
I also did not love what I was watching from the team in warm-up.
That's when you went and got ready. Like, I guess they're going to need me because these guys.
I'm going to go put my boots on.
Yeah.
I'm going to go put my boots on. Tony Miola says, I don't like anything that I just saw. Here's the starting lineup. Figure it out. Walks off.
Love that.
He had like his moment. And the boys did figure it out.
love
Yeah, they answered the call. 5-0.
3-0 lead at halftime. 5-0 total. And me and Foss blew 2 goals. So
Yeah,
that thing should have been 7.
I don't know about you and Foss, but I do know what you're saying. A lot of meat left on the bone.
Oh, shit. Reggae Rovers just had a
they're back.
highlight reel goal.
Oh, they're back.
The Reggae Rovers are now up 3-0. This was filthy. I don't know if we have the... Here it is. Replay. Watch him. Gets the pass outside. One-on-one with the goalie. What are you going to do with it? And...
Wow.
Cruyff!
God, that was genius.
That's the Reggae Rovers.
Gonzalo.
You want to talk about teams who just know how to put boot on ball?
Reggae
Rovers.
Into the back of the net, yeah.
We'll be off tomorrow. This is our last show of the week. We'll be back Monday, live with a full overreaction of everything.
Oh, yeah.
Including tonight's NBA Finals, starting with the Pacers traveling to Oklahoma City as 9.5-point dogs. Last night, Oilers-Panthers dropped puck for the NHL Finals. Let's do a full game highlight of that because people need to understand that last night's game was electrifying from beginning all the way to the end. Let's go 1 minute into the game. Kapanen gets it to Draisaitl. Golazo! 1-0 at home. Edmonton's upside down. Will they be able to hold on to that lead for a long time? Will they be able to ride the momentum of all of Edmonton? 10 minutes later, Florida Panthers. Sam Bennett puts one home. Carter Verhaeghe and Kachuk with the assist. 1-1 game. All of a sudden, we have a tie puck. All of a sudden, what happens later in the first? 2 minutes later, Florida Panthers go on a run. Another goal, 2-1. Brad Marchand within a filthy pass from Nate Schmidt. Top drawer, 2-1 Florida Panthers. Now, what will happen? Will Edmonton answer? Bennett puts the Panthers up 3-1 with his second goal. Another filthy saucer pass. He goes mid-net. 3-1. Is this over? The Florida Panthers going to go on a run. Clap bomb from Alvardsson. Listen, this seemed like one that Bob should have stopped, but this thing was going 175 miles an hour.
Yeah. Bit of a screen.
Yeah.
Clap bomb in there. Alvardsson goal. Then let's go to Ekholm, who ties it up. 3-3 right after Wayne Gretzky says Connor needs to go behind the net and find somebody who does this, that. It goes to overtime. Think it's going to maybe go to double overtime because how long the damn game was. Draisaitl, snapshot from Connor McDavid, who has 2 assists on the night. Edmonton takes the lead. They're up 1-0 in a probable 7-game Stanley Cup Final Series. All right, we have our game at 5:30 here today. Then I am off to a place that I've been invited to go to that I don't think you're even allowed to say no to, but I'm certainly honored to get to. I'll be posting about it on my social medias, at Pat McAfee Show, from all the boys here, from everybody in the back, from the crowd that's been hanging out in the rain, from everybody here in Cary, North Carolina. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have the greatest weekend of all time. We will see you Monday. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Goodbye from Cary. All right, that was good. All right, we're off.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. What's up, man? What's that? Shout out Reggae Rovers. Who?
Reggae
I can't hear you in the glass. What'd you say?
I don't know.
You gotta take the ear
Something
out.
Reggae Rovers.
Shout out Reggae Rovers. Hey, thank you, man. Good game. Okay.
Was he not listening?
Hey, he just walked on the field. I love that guy's moxie. Love his swag. First half, 3-0 Reggae Rovers over Say Word FC.
Over FC last game, I think.
Oh,
Maybe.
Say Word?
I don't know. Looks like a good team.
I think it's their last game.
can you go 2-1 and still not advance?
No.
No. So if you win 2 out of 3, you're going. You're
I think so, yeah.
You're moving on.
But you could go 1-2 if you do lose by a little bit.
So they
you might
take.
make it.
I think they take top 3. They take top 3 from a couple of the groups. Like we're in Group F. They called it the
Group of death.
And it turns out that the only death that was happening was from us to others.
Yes. Group of fun.
But Wrexham also 2-0. So I think like it depends on what your record is. They'll take top 3 from groups.
How many in a group?
4.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
But not every group gets all top 3. So if you're a 1 seed though, you get shitty third place team from other group. So really want to win your group. So like tonight against Wrexham is a very important game.
Yeah.
Because in knockout round, you would like to play a team that is not as good as somebody else. Because once you get to elimination rounds, it's target score time the entire game. You're in trouble. It's not actually, but it feels that way.
I got you.
You know, it
So
feels
that'll
like
be Saturday starts.
Friday.
Friday
tomorrow.
starts sudden death.
Yes.
Got it.
1 game per day. Friday knockout run. Saturday knockout run. Sunday knockout run. Championship on Monday.
Wow.
So you could potentially be in Cary, North Carolina for 3 weeks.
Coach Gump's got a flight Tuesday morning.
6:10 a.m. Tuesday morning. He's planning on pulling an all-nighter if the boys win, as he should. Not 100% sure I'll be able to be here, especially with the invite that I received like last week, hearing that we were going to be down in this part of the country. Also, Money in the Bank on Saturday in Los Angeles, which is going to be electrifying. Hell yeah, we got some WWE fans around here. 4 letters, 1 word. Okay, there's a lot of eaters here. I respect that, standing in the rain. Money in the Bank is on Saturday. Then Monday Night Raw is in Phoenix on Monday.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of things happening in my particular life before the championship, but the CONCAFA boys are locked in.
Okay.
They understand that they can win it all, AJ.
They know.
I saw the Indianapolis Outlaw early this morning in the lobby.
Sonner.
Yeah, I saw him too.
Killing it.
He's got an infant.
Grella was going to play
time
golf
wake
all
up.
morning, he said.
Grella's playing golf?
Yeah, he's going to hit some balls.
Hit some balls.
He's a great golfer. And whatever cools the mind, whatever frees your spirit to play your best ball, especially at 5:30 against Wrexham with McElhaney and Reynolds, boys.
Yeah.
We got to play well. We got to show up tonight.
We saw, Cap, the old firm, Zat was eating breakfast with Black Boots and Waterbugs. So obviously everyone is.
Black Boots is Mario Alvarez.
Yep,
He's
correct.
Arena League boy.
Yep.
And
Bug is
Waterbug is Pacheco, also Arena League guy.
We also told Tony and Coach Ramos, hey, first 2 games were fun. I think we figured out the 11 we need, right, going forward. I think we
It's
can,
7-on-7.
Of course, but we can knock some guys out.
The rotation, the 11-man
start this
rotation.
11-man rotation now.
Well, it's like
right?
tonight. I think we need to make sure Ledesma's healthy.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
He had a little. He had a
scared
little.
me yesterday.
He had a little hammy yesterday. He said it was a cramp. Had a little general soreness. That's always scary.
He'll
So
play. He'll play.
He's,
He doesn't even play that much, though.
he's unbelievable.
So
Yeah.
Porch, unbelievable.
Yes.
Meat, still unbelievable.
Yeah.
Rugs.
Ruggles, awesome.
Yeah.
He was going to fight a guy.
Yeah, he was talking a lot of junk.
Justin Miram. Here's Ruggles. Give me that.
Absolute firecracker.
Absolute. And then it does the nice little heel toe. I forget what this was. Remember, this had a run.
Yeah.
This dance had a run.
Victor
Is
Cruz
Miriam,
doing it?
Yeah,
Miriam
salsa.
the
Salsa?
provider of happiness?
I don't think that's a salsa. I believe that's a. What's that?
Is Miriam the provider of happiness?
Miram is a dog. Got a chance to hang out with him for a couple hours last night. He is hilarious. He also started a war. About 15 seconds after Breck Shea got fouled by somebody, and then a guy stood over Breck Shea, Miram felt obligated to toe poke a ball into the guy's balls.
Oh, sweet.
It was like 15, 20 seconds late. It was right in front of me. I watched
Hard
it all
shot.
happen. Great shot, too. And then that started a fight. Breck Shea obviously goes in there. That's what our CONCAFA boys are about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When you want to talk about fit in the culture, too, Justin Miram has really fit the CONCAFA culture.
He really has.
More than maybe anybody in the history of CONCAFA.
To a T.
Yeah, he's in there.
H and another T.
What's that?
Team culture.
Yeah. team high culture.
Yeah,
That is our thing. He was outed by a couple people, I think a few different times for what his profession is off the pitch. But it's legal. And he's awesome.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, let's get out of here. Let's let these people get out of the rain. Let's prepare for an incredible week. Where I'm headed, I don't know how many people get invited to go do.
I don't think.
Not many.
I don't think. Yeah, damn near anybody gets invited.
I don't think it's really a thing. It's pretty insane to think about. This morning I woke up like thinking, this is the first time where I'm like, okay, tonight I'm headed to this place.
Yeah, this is tomorrow.
That I don't think a lot of people really get to go to. And I was like, what should my mindset be? Going in there open-minded.
Pumped to follow. Like, pumped to see what you're
Did you bring a
posting.
fit? Did you bring a special fit for it?
No, so every time I ask what I'm supposed to wear, because I don't want to be an asshole,
There
they
you
said
go.
just wear whatever you wear. I'm like, do you know what I wear? I'm like, I don't think you know what I wear.
They're going to give you something to wear. That's what that means.
They'll definitely give you some stuff.
You think so?
They definitely will, but I don't know if it'll be at the beginning or the end.
All I got to say is, oorah, my friend.
Bingo.
And it is an honor. AJ, thank you for traveling down here. Final thoughts on Cary, North Carolina and TST.
Well, I mean, it's clear that you guys have the top squad, the CONCAFA boys. How do you ever score on these guys? Honestly, I told you this morning, with Zach back here and all the boys, like, you can't even have a shot at them. You guys have pitched 2 shutouts already. So.
Nah, we gave up a goal in the
first game.
Yeah, it's all right.
That didn't even matter. Doesn't matter.
Actually, it was in extra time that shouldn't have been extra time. So
It was in the 42nd minute.
Yeah, what are we playing? 50 minutes?
Absolute shite.
Yeah, we are the biggest team out here, by far.
By far.
No questions asked. It's part of our culture. You know, you got to get in where you fit in. The way you fit in here is you got to be big. We got some small guys. Checo, a little smaller.
Yeah,
but he'll get rolling.
He fights, though.
Yeah, we got a lot of elbow.
Gordo.
Gordo will fight as
Gordo
well.
laid someone out yesterday.
Yeah, Gordo
What's
crossbody
like,
check.
There's so much, like, you guys knock so many people down, it doesn't always get called. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't really know what you're allowed to
You're allowed
do.
shoulder. You're allowed sock.
I did see the ref do this, shoulder. So I can just
Shoulder to
I can run
shoulder.
as fast as I can and blast you with my shoulder.
As long as you're near the ball.
But I can't, I just can't extend my forearm.
Yeah, it's a push.
You got to go shoulder to shoulder.
Just like
too.
basketball.
Oh, okay. This is great.
If you're running next to
Can't do
somebody
that
balls
basketball.
there, you can shoulder.
Okay.
If you go to leverage and lift, probably a penalty.
I can keep my little chicken wing tucked in and boom.
Boom.
Okay, I love it.
Now, there's a chance they will flop and they will call it.
Okay. Okay, so it's similar to lacrosse. Like if I blast somebody in lacrosse, at least 6th grade that I watch, if the kid falls, it's gonna be a penalty. If he doesn't fall, I'm good.
Yeah, kind of. But these refs will pass up on some dives. They will.
Okay.
And then people will get pissed because they won't pass up
We've
on
seen
other
a
ones.
few unbelievable dives.
All we're looking for is consistency.
Yeah.
That's all we're looking for here. It sounds like Johnny Damon thinks the refs really screwed them. It is coming down.
It was a
Porn.
one-score
It is a little
loss. I thought it was a 1-score loss.
Yeah, it is porn.
We had to look at it.
All right. Boys, your thoughts on soccer, toxic table?
Yeah, I mean, I said it the first day we were here. It shocked me, kind of took me back a little bit that Red Boots didn't have his red boots on. And then I saw the way Mario Alvarez was playing out here with the black boots. You know, hey, listen, I wish we could stick around through Monday. That's just not feasible. Not something I'm going to be able to do. But I'll be locked in and making sure that the boys bring the title home. I know they will. I know Coach has been
On ESPN.
up. Yeah, on ESPN. I know Coach has been up late night, drawing up set pieces, drawing up different plays, you know, making sure that our rotation is locked and loaded. So, I mean, it's joy every time we come down here, and it does seem like this thing has gotten much bigger than it even was last year. Like, this is a great tournament.
Yeah, exponentially better. That's my big takeaway.
Do you think it's just strictly where we're staying this year?
That is a massive
I think that's a
part
massive
of it.
part of
That's
it.
helped.
I think also the set being built, massive part of it. Not thinking about what breaking down the set right after this, what that would entail, a massive
my
part of it.
God.
But I think as a whole, you can kind of tell the logistics of the entire thing and the amount of craze and buzz around it. Last year, I heard that a couple people from the area were going to come check it out. Turns out when they did check it out on the Friday, Saturday night, a lot of people, they're expecting to come back tomorrow with all their friends, with a lot of people. So it's not just like us who are kind of a part of it. It feels as though the town, Raleigh, Cary have kind of taken it on as their own as well, except for the one restaurant. But it feels like they have kind of taken it on as their own.
We got a call from that restaurant.
Yes, we did. But
thank you for the call.
Yeah, what's done is done.
No, thank you for the horrendous experience.
Bingo. But it's fantastic. I'm also glad that we understood what the game is. Coming into it last year, we had no idea. I mean, shit, the team was kind of compiled with a bunch of, big field players. Now we kind of understand what the game is. We're not learning the rules. It's a wonderful tournament. Not being, not exaggerating here. This week has been 1,000 times better than last week. I just have to last year, excuse me. Just have to hammer that home as well. And the guests,
We had Wayne Gretzky on today.
Wayne Gretzky, Johnny Damon, Chris.
Watching every team has gotten better, I think, too.
Yeah. It's also nice not seeing JJ Watt. But
I missed JJ this year. I think
we saw him last week. I think that's why.
Yeah, you're right. Tone, your thoughts on this? This is your first time, right?
Yeah, but yes, didn't come last year in case lightning struck. I was back in the Thunderdome.
You were going to host that show yourself.
Yep, didn't want to do that. It's kind of nostalgic. Like you, I grew up playing 150 soccer games a year, going to soccer tournaments. Shout out Beedling, by the way. I don't know if you brought that or someone gave that to you.
Boss got it for me.
Boss got it for you. But just like how well run, there's 20 fields here at least, and there's 1,000 games a day. How well run it is, and how much everyone cares, and like everyone's got sponsors and stuff like that. This is a really cool event. Very, very excited to come back every year.
Close there.
Well, you got the wet pitch.
Does it remind you of being young?
Yeah. So I watched it 2 years ago when Ruggles in Newtown won. I was watching the finals. Ruggles actually, as a little boy, gets tossed up in the sky in the middle of this rainstorm. I appreciate that happening in the background there. I watched as Ruggles won $1 million, and I saw like a bunch of names that I grew up playing soccer with. They were there, little boys getting tossed in the back out. They could just do the background shot of Tone and him. And he's down. He's a heavier child. Looks to be a little bit older than the normal. I don't know if that guy's lats are dying off or whatever. Sure. And he's back up. Back up. The boy's back up.
Is that Kid?
What's up, brother?
No, that's not Kid.
Kid Rock? You think Kid Rock's back there?
No, we met a guy last year, or a kid, who...
Good for that lad. Good for the guy that lifted him up has had great energy over there, too, by the way. I think he was at Midnight Out. That's the only way he could have that hoodie. Appreciate you coming through. All of you, thank you for representing. Would like to make an early announcement. After this show ends, we will take a couple photos. Cannot be standing out here for 4 hours.
Can't be getting soaked.
Okay, so let's have a good idea of what's going to happen here. Let's take some photos. Let's have a good time. Let's make sure we're not... Did you see what happened yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brother, it was...
You got screwed.
It was awesome to meet everybody.
Yeah.
But people had no idea who I was. Just saw people coming. There was just 1,000 people. I don't know who you are, is what they were saying in my face.
That's always
But will you sign this? It's like, sure, got nowhere to be. Got it. So, with that being said, need to meet this group over here. The lads up on the hill, I appreciate you so much. If we could set up
like almost like a buffet line.
If we could set up if we could figure out how to set this
Go
up.
on the stairs.
It is right.
One walk up the stairs.
Up the step.
Bingo.
And then I head left.
And then we go. Okay.
I don't know. It looks like lightning's coming in. This isn't safe.
No.
It's not
For the
safe.
safety of everybody.
Go.
Let's go Mountaineers. Guys got a West Virginia flag up there. I appreciate the hell out of it. He wanted me to start a war this morning. He wanted me to say a lot of things on camera and jump on things on camera. I appreciate where his head is at. To the TST people, I'd like to say thank you for the hospitality. TST people.
It's not lying.
That's lightning, man.
Oh, yeah.
To everybody in the truck, great work back there, boys. Great work,
boys.
To the entire ESPN production crew that set all this up, we can't thank you enough for showing up early in Cary, making this go off without a hitch, figuring it out. We'll also be live at the finals, Game 3 and Game 4, outside Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Come join us if you can. If not, what a beautiful backdrop downtown. They will all be setting it up, so thank you to them. Thank you to Scott on the jib out of Louisiana. Scott out of Louisiana on the jib. He's a weapon. As are his jibs.
Yeah.
He's literally jib man. He's got a couple other jibs that need a home, he says. Yeah.
Wow.
He literally just walks around with at least 3 of them things on him.
Okay.
He's got all the jibs, all the magic he could possibly need. He's from Louisiana. He does eat gator.
Oh, yeah.
Does gator. Have we had gator other than those gator nuggets?
No, just had the gator nuggets. Have not had any gator sent to the office.
We need to go down to a Scott gator hunt down there with potentially Governor Jeff Landry down there. What's that?
I like one of them Governor Jeff Landry gator hunts more than one of them Scott gator
hunts.
hunts.
What?
But I think Scott would also say, I mean, look, I ain't no governor. I'm just a normal gator hunter.
Oh, you're a corporate.
I'm not a corporate gator hunter. I'm a premier gator hunter, and I think that's what GG does.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pouring out there. I'm trying to figure out if we just go longer and wait for this to slow down before we go out there. It'd be very selfish of us to do that. Or if we just go ahead and grit and bear this thing and figure out an X. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to head up that stairs right there. We're going to head up that stairs. So I think if we could get along the... No, everybody's going to slip on the hill.
That
do that.
That might be something that we just have to deal with.
Yeah. Hold on to the pole.
Sometimes things happen.
Look, what do you... No matter what, something's going to happen.
Somebody's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
We're at a soccer tournament. I assume most of these people have boots on. So
They do probably have boots. We could just hop over the fence. That
guy's got a... what's the state? Indiana, Alabama Jones hat on right there. He looks like he's got it figured out. That's a good play right there. Tip of the cap to you, sir.
Thumbs up.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. Have a great 3-day weekend. I'm going to go experience something that I don't know how many humans get to experience, to be honest with you. I will document it all. I will be on my Instagram and X throughout it. I don't know if I should, though. It feels like when they gave me permission to do that, that felt wrong as well.
Well,
read the room.
They gave you permission, though.
Because you also just want to experience it.
Yeah, I want to be in there.
Yeah. You need to focus on...
There is a pretty heavy non-vitamin law, I guess, where I'm headed.
Yeah?
I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll understand when I get there tomorrow. They've given me a heads up, though, like, hey.
Just keep it right outside the perimeter.
That's where we're going to head. Yep. The perimeter.
Dig a hole.
Don't be giving too many. Don't be giving too many things away.
I could have said something else, but I didn't.
What would you have said?
Rhymes with...
Nope.
Starts with a B.
All right, we're going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for allowing us to be a part of your lives. Have a great 3-day weekend. CONCAFA plays at 5:30. Then if they got an elimination game tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we'll be following along. Money in the Bank is Saturday. The NBA finals start tonight. The NHL Stanley Cup finals continue. It should be a great weekend of sports. We're lucky as hell to do this. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Shout out to Cary, North Carolina. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye.